now, as you can see.
Did Mrs. Parnas bring you your coffee today, your specialty coffee?
No, today actually, Miss Parnas did me a favor and she took the kids. I was supposed to go with the kids, and they want to learn how to play Pokemon card game.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tournament going on here, so they're like, "We're going," and I'm like, "Babe, I got coffee with Dean and tea." She's like, "I got you." So my wife out there, hi baby, she's watching us, and everybody give her a shout out. But she took the kids so we could have this incredible coffee and tea. Actually, you remind me, let me put these suckers on. Hey
Yeah, your
everyone,
headphones.
welcome. Good morning, good afternoon. Coming
Good
like it
morning,
was. Yeah,
friends.
good like
Welcome to Coffee and Tea. That is Lev Parnas, former Trump fixer, Giuliani fixer turned award-winning whistleblower, and American fucking hero.
Hey, Jay.
Lev Remembers is where you can find him. Ludmila, oh, she's here. Love you too. We'll hopefully get a little positive affirmation from
Oh,
her at
at
the
the
end,
end, of
right?
course.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
look,
We gonna
Glenn.
get it?
Glenn, what's up, Glenn? How are you, my brother? If you want to
Glenn,
come up,
Lotta.
Glenn, you're always welcome. We got a lot to go over, so always welcome to
Yeah.
come up. If you want to join us, just let us know. Uh, American Citizen, hello. American Citizen's going to come up today. I know a lot of you've been DMing, asking, if she could come up and say a few words. She's definitely going to come up, say a few words. Ludmila's going to come up. We have a full lineup for you guys. I mean, Dean, this
We're
is
having coffee and tea with everybody. It's like a quorum of people having coffee and tea today.
Yeah, there's we got Nick. Hey, how are you? Welcome. We got Brian Krassenstein that's coming up, folks. I don't know if you guys. I think everybody knows the Krassenstein brothers. Brian and is a dear friend of mine, and the
Awesome
Pat.
guys. Just
Awesome
awesome
guys
guys.
doing
Yeah.
some incredible. I mean, they do some incredible. They take more shit. I'm gonna tell you from MAGA and from the Trump loyalists than I don't know, and I just don't know. I mean, they get doxxed, and right now actually what's happening, folks, is Brian they uncovered who this ICE agent was, and they
Jonathan
started
Ross. Yeah, yeah.
John,
They were the
yeah.
people that ID'd the murder. Yeah.
You know what? Let's not even say his name on our show. You know what I'm saying to you? Let's call him that shithead or whatever, that the guy that the execution or whatever the fuck you are. But let's not even give it. But the only name we are gonna say today, folks, on that note, absolutely make sure you say Renee Nicole Good all
Hey,
day. You
Nicole
guys could, while
Goode.
we're here, whenever you just feel like it, whenever it hits you in the heart, whenever you remember her, just go ahead, say Renee Nicole Good. Put it in the chat there, because that we're gonna say her name, and we're gonna. But this piece of shit, we're not gonna mention him. But yeah, so Brian and his brother, they uncovered this guy, and now all of Mega is going after them. So Brian's gonna come up here, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Also, we have a special surprise. Alexander is going to join us today from Ukraine. He's gonna give us a live update. He's feeling a lot better. He wanted
Good.
to come up for a little bit. We also have some special breaking stuff we're gonna talk to you about, that nobody's talking about, because and some of these people have never lived in that world. And I'm going to tell you some of the shadow diplomacy that's going on right now. We're going to break some news we're going to talk about. So definitely smash those hearts, share it with whoever it is, get ready. This is, we're here for a couple of hours, folks. This is Saturday, Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. And we have a lot to go over. So, why don't we start off, Dean, with the most, what's right happening right here, right now, and that's right, Renee Nicole Good. Keep saying her name. Talk about what's going on in Minnesota. Let's get the
Yeah.
list, because yesterday there were some riots, not riots, I would say, but on the verge of almost, there was some arrests that took place. There's some protests happening. There's protests happening for being lined up for today, and we're going to talk about that. Make sure. And before we start, for those of you that are going out to protest today, absolutely, I want to make it very clear before we go any further. I advocate to make sure right now is the time we make our voices loud and clear. This is the time we're loud. Go there, protest, go out there, make your voices be heard. Call your Congress people, write your letters, make your phone calls, send your emails, do whatever it is. Put your, just like we talk about, take Malcolm Nance always says, you could, go protest right outside your lawn. Go make a sign right now. Write her name on there. Renee Nicole feel good, put it out there and put it out your outside the front of your house. Whatever you could do, let's make sure. But the one thing I want to do, and I want to be very clear because we're going to talk about this, Dean, is
Mm.
I'm hearing a lot of chatter inside of Trump world, and a lot of my inside sources are telling me that literally these guys are sick in the head. Like I can't. I know we all already understand sick in the head, but they're literally giddy. Like Stephen Miller and them. They're giddy, waiting, talking about calling it the George Floyd protest 2.0.
Hmm.
They're expecting it to take off, and they're just waiting to
And they
take
think
off.
they missed an opportunity during the George Floyd protests, don't they? Like the Trump
Big time,
regime.
big
Yeah, yeah,
time, big
yeah.
time. I mean, and he wanted to, but there were people there. There were you didn't have little Goebbels over there at the time, pushing him. You didn't have Project 2025 in full force. You still had people that went again, and that's why one of the things that also I'll mention is a lot of people and a lot of pundits and a lot of people keep talking about every time Christy Nome or Pete Hegseth or Kash Patel or Pam Bondi messes up, or something goes out arise, and there's this whole thing, the media right away starts talking about how long are they lasting, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh well, he's going to be gone by January. Trump, just remember what Trump did in his first admin. I mean, this is nonsense, folks. I want to make it very clear. Total bullshit. Do not listen to these people. If anybody's telling you that Trump is planning on firing, and I'm going to name the names: Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, and Christy Nome. Those four. Where I'm not gonna. We could speculate on others, and even I'll even give you Tulsi Gabbard might be. Could be in a nice way leaving. But those four are not going anywhere, folks. They're going down with the ship. Those
Yeah.
four are. Those are the leaders of the pack. They're when you see them do something, and that's why it amazes me how the media still hasn't picked up on it, Dean, is when you see Christina come out there, say some vulgar, nasty stuff, and the media is, oh, that's it. That made Trump look bad. Oh, that's it. Trump's going to get rid of her.
They
And
just
then Trump,
undercut Trump. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't understand. Trump comes out and doubles down and says even more vulgar stuff and says, "You're crazy. I
Yeah.
love her. She's doing." They're doing his job, folks. They're
Yeah.
and I want you to understand that they're not going out there because this is their idea. This comes from the top up. Donald Trump is the leader, and these are his soldiers, and it's going down. So I want to make it very clear. Please, when you're out there today, be safe, be
Mm.
vigilant, be loud, be clear. Don't let them scare you. Don't let them intimidate you of not letting your voices be heard. But also be more vigilant. What do I mean by that? Stay in a group.
Mm.
Don't get left out somewhere by yourself. Keep your eyes around you. They're sending in agitators. I'm hearing into Portland, into what's it called, Minnesota, and other places. We've already had sightings of protesters trying to start agitation. Folks, this is a very, very, very major tiptoe moment in the history we're dealing with right now. That we have to be very careful, because we at the one moment we have to be. This is the time where we're letting our voices heard. This is where we make a stance. This is when we draw the line in the sand and we go get
Mm.
our democracy back. But at the same time, this is the most dangerous time in our life, in our history,
Yeah.
because we have a madman sitting on top with a button that basically they're foaming at the mouth, sitting there watching TV like this is some reality show, and just hoping that there's something goes out, something happens, that he could just press that button and show. Just think about some of the things that are coming out of their mouths. They want to show the American people, the left, because they don't consider them Americans. They don't consider us Americans. Just think about deplorables, what that made sounded like. But they don't consider us Americans. So he wants to show what the mighty military might will show them if they, and like you said, it's all going back to because he missed his moment with with the George Floyd moments. And this is where the interesting part is, where a lot of people, they don't have a black person. They have a white woman that they killed. So they don't have BLM to blame right now. They don't have the whole world of, this is something that they were not expecting, obviously, and it threw a little wrench in their whole about going after the black, brown communities, and
Yeah.
targeting with ICE. Here you have a mother of three, so they're trying to paint her out to be something, and the worst thing they could have done, she, what's it called?
Domestic terrorists.
Domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
It's insane, Dean.
Well, and fuck, it's such a great intro because we're going to cover a bunch of different stuff. And I think starting in Minnesota is where we want to start, my man, as we have coffee and everybody. Feel free to pump your questions into the chat. This is about you, for you, driven by you. Yes, we've got a lot of guests like Brian Krassenstein and Jacob Karsbo, former Danish intelligence officer, UN Security Council member, who just texted me back. He's on his way to the airport. When he gets there, he's going to chime in. So we might have him an hour or two because we've got Greenland and Denmark to deal with. But getting home, let's deal with this at home because if we don't beat Trump at home, we don't beat Trump. If we don't beat Trump at home, Ukraine doesn't stand a chance. If we don't beat Trump at home, Greenland doesn't stand a chance. So let's focus there. I was, and I'm going to flip the script a little bit, but do you remember when Trump last week threatened to bomb the shit out of Iran for shooting its protesters? Do you remember that? The
Yep.
Iranian National
Yep.
Guard.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to bomb you. Fuck
Yeah. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
believe you're doing that to those poor people. They just want democracy. Now, I'm watching Iran fall in real time. If you are on social media, you're seeing these clips and these videos of government buildings on fire, mosques on fire. The mullahs are leaving. The Khomeinis apparently been given refuge in Moscow. We're yet to kind of figure out whether or not that is accurate.
No,
But
they're not.
what
They're not there yet. Not
they're
there
not
yet.
there yet. Okay, well, we'll
Okay.
deal with that a little later on in the show.
Okay.
But just as a comparison, and the hypocrisy of what happened in the United States this week, as Trump and his regime are legitimately trying to gin up protesters who are mourning their democracy, not just mourning their democracy, mourning the death of a single mother of three children who was brutally murdered in the streets of Minnesota for saying, quote, I don't know if you watched the video, quote, I'm not mad at you, which is when the officer shot her in the head and called her, and I'm not kidding, if you've seen the latest video that JD Vance just put out, called her a fucking bitch while shooting her twice in the head.
It's sick.
The disparity here, and I know this is coffee and I did tea, and I know we should just be having a quick chat, but I have been charged up by the disparity and the hypocrisy of what we see Trump doing in foreign countries to protect democracy, and he's doing the fucking opposite at home. So in Iran, he's willing to bomb the shit out of that country to protect protesters who are yearning for democracy. In the United States, he's shooting protesters trying to protect democracy. Do we understand that today? And that's the question I have for our listeners and our viewers, everybody watching here, Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. Do we really understand that nuclear hypocrisy from the Trump regime?
I'm gonna
Because
explain it to them today.
please do. Yeah, I
I'm
appreciate that.
I'm gonna explain to you guys today because it's you have to be around a madman like that, and I unfortunately had the chance of being around and the thinking and plus knowing what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
See, it's for Donald Trump, it's never about the people. You need to understand what's going on in Iran. Is has to do with another axis that's tied to Bibi Netanyahu, and it's tied to what these uprising are being done. They're not being done. So there's we have like CIA, they have
Yeah, they're
Mossad, they have
feeding the insurgents.
they're
Yeah.
they're feeding the insurgents, and Donald Trump is basically playing his role. But it's all about the oil, also. You know what I'm saying to you?
Mhm.
Because right now, what's taking place, if you take a look at the places that are being hit, Venezuela, Iran, military-wise, those are two major oil hubs. Who
Mhm.
are the players that are involved in this? You got the Saudis that are loving it. MBS says go for it. He's putting everybody behind the scenes with Donald Trump as buddies. You have the Russians that have the relationships with the Iranians and the Venezuelans, so they're pulling the strings. They're using those as bait for Donald Trump and Israel because what they want is Nord Stream 2. They want
Mhm.
Eastern Europe. They want to take over all of dominance. So it's a breakup. And China is just sitting there waiting. Just think about what he said yesterday at the. And I know it's off the subject because we're talking about democracy, but he literally turned around yesterday and he said, we're open. He goes, we're open for business in
Hmm.
Venezuela, like it's a store. He said, we're going to be selling oil to China, to Russia, as much as they want. And they could buy it there. They could buy Venezuelan oil. They could buy American oil. We're open for business. This is the mentality. So when he tells you he wants to save democracy there, and that he's going to, because this is all another just bullshit cover up,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's all about, also Nick, thank you. Nick might join us also if we have some time. Definitely, Nick wants to come up. It's also about Bitcoin, also cryptocurrency.
yep.
A lot of this, and also you gotta understand, these are the channels which a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these wars get funded by black money, dark money.
Hmm.
Dark money means drug money. So what happens is, so a lot of the drug cartels in like Venezuela, and that's why it's so crazy that Trump says Venezuela sends their drugs here. Venezuela primarily sends their drugs overseas, cocaine, and it gets funneled to money to Iran, Russia. It's a whole network. That's what I'm saying to you. It's like, and the same thing with and they use the cryptocurrency black market to be able to hedge their positions because of the financial markets, because it gives them, nobody knows what real position they got. Russia's for a long time has been a leader in the cryptocurrency. They talk about China and others. It's incredible how they don't talk about Russia. Russia has been I remember going back 20 years, Russia was major, even in longer in crypto. So between the crypto and the oil that you're seeing being divvied up, and like I told you, and you'll see, part of the deal that the Russian, now you're also going to see Trump try to normalize, is
Hmm.
more Russian business. Russian business is, what can Russia give you? It's oil and gas. How are they gonna? It's now reopening Nord Stream 2, where now Donald Trump and America is going to be selling the oil, Russian oil, to Europe. That's the next play you're gonna see come around. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, folks, but when I said this 4 years ago, when this was just talked about between Kushner and Dmitriev, when they first met, and I started breaking up a lot of the stuff, people thought I was insane.
Hmm.
Now look where we are. Now tell me how crazy I am. Tell me, because you gotta understand the things that I tell you, and the difference, and this is a very important difference, that what I tell you might sound crazy, but it's factual.
Yeah.
I'm not here giving you, and when it's an opinion, I tell you it's an opinion. But most of the things that I tell you comes from either my life own experience, either I've been there, sat there, listened to them, heard it, or I have a very good source that I trust that has been explicitly, and say talked about. I don't come and try to just throw some clickbait stuff out there. You've seen that, and
Yeah.
there's a reason why. Because, like I said, on our platform, we're speaking the truth to power. And that's why what we're building here is something more bigger than just a community. It's become a family. We take care of our own, but we also become a movement. And we've
Mm.
also become a big part of a resistance. And just think about it. Look, it's Saturday. We've only been on here for like 20 minutes. We have over 1,000 people here, joining us. I love each and every one of you. We're only getting started. And remember, this show is for you guys. So this is for the paid subscribers, the subscribers. So grab your coffee, your tea, whatever your drink of choice is, because like somebody said to me, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, somewhere in the country. We don't judge. Whatever your drink of choice, sit down. Also, pro cannabis if you want, you're more than welcome. Whatever your drink of choice, whatever you
Puff,
want
puff,
to do it
pass.
to,
Yeah.
pump
Yeah.
up,
Yeah. Come
pass.
and join us.
Relax, enjoy. Definitely, this is for you guys to really get into. So if you have questions, Dean's gonna work on the question part. I'm gonna try to get people up, and we're gonna try to, go through the day. I'm give you all the news because we have a lot of stuff. So, Dean, why don't we
Yeah.
start off with maybe Venezuela, or if if Zev's here, maybe we could bring Zev up.
Yeah, waiting for Zev.
Wherever.
He's gonna pump in. I want to kind of finish that thought too. You handled that so well in talking about the hypocrisy, but not only the hypocrisy, the dance and the sketch and the bullshit that is behind what Trump is threatening in Iran and what he's doing to the people in America and what happened to Renee Nicole Goode the other day. And it's really fascinating fascinating to me because you and I kind of we're both on the level when it comes to fact based information. And yesterday, JD Vance put out a video from Alpha News. It was the body cam of the asshole who murdered Nicole. And this is again, the operation, the psyop of Donald Trump promoting democracy in Iran and trying to destroy democracy in the United States and presented it as this is just common sense. And the common sense that came from JD Vance was a video of the guy who shot Renee Nicole Goode. And it was the exact same. It was even more damning than in the desperation of this regime trying to paint this woman as a domestic terrorist when he offers support for people who protest in other countries is fucking mind numbing. But
Mind-boggling.
to your
Sick.
point, you have to understand what's at stake for Donald Trump here, right?
Yeah.
If indeed this gentleman gets charged with murder, and he should, I don't know what's going on outside of the investigation that the FBI is apparently taking over. But to understand the cone of silence that these assholes operate in, not only is he extremely hypocritical, murdering protesters in his own country while protecting them in religious dictatorships on the other side of the fucking ocean, but the desperation, and I want your opinion on this, Lev, because the desperation of the Trump regime trying to find an angle of that video that somehow proves that this gentleman acted, not gentleman, this asshole acted in self-defense is fever pitch crazy because we have fucking eyes. Like, that's the part that I don't understand. Like, we're at a moment in history, to your point, and I know you worked for the prick, and I know you were one of his fixers, and I know you're the chief sausage maker in the sausage MAGA factory. But explain to me and explain to everybody how he can continually try to present something to us, whether it's the fucking economy, whether it's the cold blooded murder of Renee Nicole Goode. Say her fucking name all weekend, my friends. Say her name. Or whether it is what we watched him do to Venezuela. How is it possible for anybody around him, and maybe I'm answering my own question, to look at these videos that they desperately are trying to use, manipulate, because the one video Trump put out was incredibly manipulated by AI? How can they continue to think that the insult to the intelligence, which is their fucking desperation, is going to fucking work?
Dean, and I love you, and and I love your passion, and and that's an incredibly great question, and people ask that question all the time. I want to say this to you. I want to you hold on a second. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no worries.
Okay, we got. I think Brian is up here with us, so I know his time is very.
Yeah, we can come back to that question. I just think it's
No, no,
it's
no.
it's
That's a
the
great.
crux of the issue that
No,
everybody seems to have, right? It's the flooding the zone, but it's also, oh my God, like fucking quit insulting our intelligence. We've watched this woman get shot from 48 different angles. She was murdered in cold blood, but the desperation. And I watched JD Vance. I don't know if you saw it in
Well,
the
well,
actual.
well. The first thing I want to say, and hold on, just so I'm going to tell you, is because it's. Oh, here, there we go. There we go. So it's nothing new. I know people get amazed, and and that's why I need. Hey, Brian, welcome, my
Hey, how's
brother.
it
Thank
going?
you.
Hey, Brian.
Welcome to our show. This is our weekly weekend show where you're always welcome. It's a place where you could come and definitely, we have a huge community here that supports everything that you guys are doing. You and your brother are doing some incredible work out there, and
Fearless
what can I
shit.
say? Fearless shit. Like I say, you're the only two I know that could take so much shit from MAGA and from the right and still keep punching. But today it's a little bit more serious issue that we're going to get into because this is not a joking matter what's happening right now, and that's why we need everybody to hit those hearts, folks. Get as many people in here as possible, and make sure because there's something we need to also stand up to MAGA, support our own, and the Krassensteins are our own, and they're under attack. But
Mm.
just before we get on to that, Brian, because the question that Dean asked and
Yeah, I want
everybody
Brian
asked that,
to to
yeah,
to, to weigh in on this
and
too.
you could chime in after this
Yeah.
also, is that everybody's saying, well, how are these how is people is are they able to try to show us these videos and to try to still make us believe with our own eyes that this is something that it's not. And what I want to say is, like, this is nothing new. Think about Donald Trump's history. He first started off with that perfect phone call, which I was involved with as the first impeachment, where we had not only people that were on the call testify, we had the transcripts. We had him turn around. He said, "Can you do me a favor, though? Speak to my attorney." We heard it, we saw it, we read it, but he still got away with it. And somehow he got it, moved it on, because the mega machine was louder, stronger, their voices were. Then we had Georgia. We heard the phone call. Give me 11,870, 780 votes. We all heard it. You can't, it's black and white. We understood. Get him down. What happened? Nothing happened. Again, the mega machine went into action. Oh, it was said like this. He didn't mean this. They defined it like that. Turned the whole thing around. They were louder and stronger again. And then what happened really bad came January 6th. January 6th, where the whole world watched with our own eyes the attack on our capital. And what did they do? On the fifth 5-year anniversary, they tried to rewrite history by putting on the official White House site, saying that it's the police that were at fault. It was
Yeah.
and the riot was here.
Pelosi
Donald
did it.
Trump. Donald Trump is coming in, changing history, redoing right and what. So now here we are, folks. We let him get away so many times. We let MAGA, we let the right, we let the media get away so many times. And that's why I wear this shirt. And that's why I want each and every one of you. Enough is enough. Enough of this bullshit, like Dean said. We see with our eyes. We know what happened. We don't need to, and the media needs to stop going to these angles. The action needs to start there. This is exactly gaslighting. What we need to happen is we need action. We need the state prosecutors to start filing what's it called, charges.
Mm.
Start doing your own investigation. Stop playing this game while we're waiting for the FBI. Because they're not going to give you anything. They're going to cover it. They're going to cover it all up, and it's going to be disgusting. Anyway, Brian, welcome, brother. First of all, tell us your opinion, and then tell us what's going on. Bring everybody up to speed who doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like it's they're
Brian,
trying to rewrite.
your
Oh,
mic a little bit. It's a little bit, yeah,
let me see. Is it too low? Oh,
too loud, I think. What is it?
oh, is that any better? Is that any better?
It's a
Good,
little over
good.
modulated. It's just a little
Huh.
loud, fella. Yeah. That's okay. By the
How
way,
about now?
no, same. But you look like a
Okay,
fucking million
you know,
dollars.
I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna not use my mic. How about that?
Oh,
Yeah,
much better.
perfect.
Much better, yeah. Sometimes the old way is the best way.
You know the shitty part
Yeah.
about doing a show with the Kras twins is that they're all better looking than us. Anyway, continue your thoughts, Bry.
Yeah, no, so it's just rewriting history. That's what Trump's great at. He's great at taking what happened in the past and spinning it and rewriting it to, show something else. And he's doing this exact same thing. JD Vance, Donald Trump, they both said that he was run over by the vehicle. Yeah, run over. Meanwhile, you have a video literally a second later with him like running up to the car and like clearly he's not injured a bit, like he didn't even get a bruise. He wasn't even like, hurt.
Yeah.
And they spun that into, oh, she ran him over she was a terrorist. A
Yeah.
terrorist, right?
A
A mother
domestic
of a
abuse.
6-year-old with a dog in the back seat who's a terrorist. Yeah, that's really believable. But if you're in a cult and you believe what these people,
Yep.
everything Trump says, then you're going to believe that. And it's sad. And so, like, what happened to me was I asked one time on Twitter, does anybody know this guy's name? Meaning the agent, Jonathan Ross. This was before his name came out. And people flipped out. Newsmax said that I was doxing him. No, I asked for his name. I'm a pseudo journalist. I'm asking for his name for the public, right? We have the right to know this guy's name.
You're
He
an
killed
American
somebody.
citizen. You can
Right.
you can ask a question.
Like he was a masked federal agent that killed somebody. So after Newsmax reported this, and then the reporter on Newsmax doxed me. He's like saying, "Oh, how dare him dox anybody?" He actually doxed me. He posted a video of my home on his account on Twitter. Then people on X started sharing it. Then when the name came out, when the Guardian and the Intercept published his name, Jonathan Ross, I simply made a tweet. I said, his name is Jonathan Ross. Please stay safe. Please don't be violent. And the right wing on X just totally lost it. How dare Krassenstein dox this officer? I didn't dox. Number one, posting somebody's name isn't doxing them. If I posted his address, his telephone number, or social security number, that's doxing. Number two, this was already public information. So, like, right now, I just have a lot of people that are posting information about me, and I'm getting calls nonstop. My wife's getting calls nonstop. But, I mean, I'm used to it.
What are the nature of those calls? I'm interested in the life of Brian and Ed Krassenstein when you do something like post 8647 or Dead Man Walking.
I was going to say to you, last time, I just want to say, Priya, before Brian answers it, guys, the last time me and Brian did a live, right afterwards, his brother got the Secret Service showed up at his house.
Yeah. Well, and the week later, or 2 weeks after that, I had the Secret Service show up at my house. I didn't post about that because I just didn't want to blow it up. But I had them show up at my house because I posted a photo of Vladimir Putin. I said somebody should take him out. And since he was on U.S. soil, the Secret Service said, "Yeah, but he was on U.S. soil." I told them I meant the U.S. military should take him out, and I was joking. Like obviously they're not going to do that.
But who cares? He's a dictator.
Yeah, exactly. So the Secret Service. What happened was the Secret Service took a still.
Secret Service. Wait a second. Let me.
They're protecting Putin, right?
Hold on a second, guys. Wait a second. Hold on a second. This is some breaking news because wait a second. This is crazy. Wait a second, Brian. I didn't know this. So Brian
I didn't either.
Wait a second. Brian posted a post, take out Putin, and the Secret Service shows up to your house to say, "How dare you make a post of America?" Wow, tell us more. This is
walk us through the experience slowly and with a romantic voice.
So they come to my door. My wife's like, the Secret Service is here. I'm like, oh great, okay, have them come in. So they come in. It was Ed last time. So they come in. It was a local sheriff and a Secret Service agent, and they're like, why did you post that you wanted somebody to take Donald Trump out? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they're like, yeah, you posted a photograph of Putin and Trump, and you said somebody should take him out as soon as he shrugged, right? But he was standing next to Putin, and it was actually a video I posted on Twitter of Putin shrugging. So it was clear as day if you watch the video who I was talking about. But all that the Secret Service had was this printed out screenshot of the video of Trump and Putin. So they didn't even watch the video that they decided to come to my house over. So once I told them that, they were like, okay. But, it's still illegal to threaten a foreign leader on American soil. And I'm like, I didn't threaten him. I just gave my opinion that somebody should take Putin out. The world would be better. And, I mean, that was pretty much it. They said, don't talk about it. This is the first time I am.
Oh my God! So how many people showed up? Wow. And were they wearing sunglasses? Did they have the earpiece in there? Were they like, yeah, we've already talked to the second twin. This is the first twin, and we're going to warn him, and we'll let you know. Copy that. And you're standing there going, dude, did you read the fucking tweet?
It was like a boring old guy and a sheriff, and they were both like, I mean, I think they both realized it was pretty pathetic, but at the same time, I mean, he's like, don't share this on social media. There's no good to come of this. So I didn't. I respected their wish until 2 months later. Now I'm telling you.
He just spilled the tea, boys.
Yeah.
Brian just spilled the tea.
Well, keep in mind, this is a fucking social media post. Like, you're talking about the absolute free speech party. You're talking about the group of the GOP, the party of Elon Musk. They bought Twitter so that there would be absolute free speech. You could say whatever you want. Yesterday, Elon Musk was like, white fucking power, 100%. Like, he put on this fucking tweet. And I'm like, okay, that's okay, right? That's absolute free speech. Brian's like, hey, and I'll get to the second one, and I want to ask you about the second one. I don't know if it was you or Ed. It might have been you, I think, where you put out another tweet after they said, hey, Trump puts out a Truth Social post, and he's like, why is Colbert on TV? He's a fucking dead man walking. And it was you, right? It was you
Yeah.
that put out,
And
hey, Trump's a dead man walking. And it was the exact
Yeah,
same
right.
group of
He
fucking
gets hacked.
betas who
I
came out
love
going,
that.
how dare you? And you're like, no, man, it's okay. He said it first.
and I let it run. Like so Donald Trump made that post on Truth Social. Colbert is a dead man walking. Somebody should, I don't know, it was like somebody should put him out of his misery or something like that. So I saw that posted at like midnight. So I was up. I have to be up.
That's usually when he does his best work. By the way, between 12 and 3 in the morning is when Big Don gets up. When nobody's there, they can't take his phones away, and he sits there. And that's when his pudgy little fingers start typing away.
Yeah. So I see it and I'm like, oh, it's early in the morning. I'm gonna just copy the exact same thing, but instead of Colbert, I'm gonna add Trump's name. Because most likely these Trump voters didn't see it. They probably didn't see it. And in the morning they'll wake up and think that I'm some horrible person for saying this. So I waited like probably until 3 p.m. the next day before I started showing, oh no, this was actually copying Trump. But by then it went viral. There were millions of views, and people were, I think they tagged the FBI something like 200 times. Nothing happened. Elon didn't ban me. The FBI didn't come to my house, and they all seemed like idiots. Some of the biggest influencers on Twitter, tweeted like just outraged over this, and I'm like, this is actually just. I'm just copying what Donald Trump said. I don't really mean this.
Yeah.
And it just shows their hypocrisy. And I think that's a good way to fight back.
The interesting part was just a quick side story. It was something I did yesterday as we all watch Iran burn and democracy and young people in Iran wake up and take their country back. There's a picture of a mosque burning. And I put, hey, it's totally possible to turn your religious dictatorship into a democracy. America, see Iran. And some Trump MAGA influencer, I don't know who the guy is, I didn't pay attention. He's like, this is incitement. And then he tagged the fucking FBI. And there were like 400 bots after that, and they're like, FBI, FBI, FBI. But that's how they do it, right? Like for the free speech party of free speech absolutists, I'm shocked at the inner cuck that lives within each one of these losers. Shocked.
Well, they got their boy, Kash Patel.
So another like I think it's great to point out, get them outraged over things that Trump did, right? Or things that are just ridiculous. Like I also did the Mamdani one, right? I posted Mamdani will be requiring all New York students to learn Arabic numerals. And, Arabic numerals are just numbers that we use.
You threw them all for a loop on that one. I mean, they didn't even know.
They thought he was serious. They're like, oh.
No, go
it
ahead.
was crazy. I think it got 20 million views on Twitter. I got I think 10 million on Instagram and TikTok. And it was just all MAGA, just outraged the fact that Mamdani's gonna teach our students 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right. They don't even know what Arabic. They thought that like he was going to teach them like that was the biggest.
What use do they have for Arabic numerals? Like we should be teaching our kids math. That's what they would say.
I was watching. I saw that. That was incredible, dude. Let me tell you, that was the all timer. I'm telling you, that was.
So are you like? Because here's how I look. There's echelons of people that do what we do here, right? I would put the Krassenstein twins, Ed and Brian, in the first tier of Trump trolls that they just fucking can't stand.
Oh yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think like it's trolling, but it's also it's just pointing out stupidity, ignorance, and hypocrisy, and then sharing with the facts.
Yeah.
Like use that to get their attention, and then show them the facts, and they don't like the facts. And how do they react? They dox you, or they attack you personally and make stories up about you. But like I don't care. Like it's Twitter. Everybody knows that Twitter's full of crap.
Yeah, but was there a time where you did? Because me,
yeah.
Like over the past 2 years, 3 years, I would say, I used to look at Twitter like it was an indictment, and then I realized what the fuck it was, and then Elon Musk bought it, and then we've now devolved into literally just a bot troll influence fucking machine. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't even.
And so I take none of it seriously. But do you see it in binary like I do? where it's like none of this matters. You must,
Yeah.
because like most people that take it as personally as other people do don't see it like a function. They see it like it's part of their lives. But we used to look at it like it was when it was a serious platform, right? It no longer is.
You know, like I take it that way for some people, right? But like if Lev came out and started criticizing me, or you came out and started criticizing me, I'd take it to heart and I'd be like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. But if it's bots that are,
Right.
you know, these crazy influencers that are, you know, just downright cultist, then I'm like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah. It's binary.
I agree.
It's like fucking, it's like the Matrix. I feel like we're a bunch of Neos.
Yeah.
And listen, folks, I want you first of all make sure right now while Brian's here, go out there, hit that little button up there, and you see Krassensteins, you see everybody bipolar, you know, go out there right now. Make sure you
Just an incredible
subscribe.
follow.
Yeah, make sure it's first of all, you will get a laugh because they do some incredible trolling. But what's important, and this is why, because I know we do it with humor. We try to stay normal because of all the craziness, so we don't get depressed. But there's a message behind every tweet or every post that Brian and Ed put together, because like he said, they're and not only showing them how stupid they are and what they're, you know, what they're doing, but they're also uncovering what the problem is, like behind the story, and what really people should focus on. So definitely make sure, Brian, I want to thank you. I know you were out with the kids, and you know, Brian said definitely I'm coming join. He wanted to join the community and come here and say hi to everyone. So everybody, give him a follow, give him a subscribe. The
Yeah, will you come
Krassenstein
back?
brothers. Oh, of
Yeah,
course he's gonna come
absolutely.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just you know, Love. Just text me if I'm
yeah,
free. I love doing this. I
absolutely.
love both your shows. They're great. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
buddy, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan. I have been for years. And you and your brother just do some of the most
Yeah,
amazing, value-filled,
incredible stuff.
wisdom-filled, courage-filled work
Courage, yeah.
in holding people
Yeah, I
to
tell you,
account.
I
So
tell you
thank you.
honestly, I
Yeah.
tell you honestly, like I make fun. I say I don't know anybody that's seen Vladimir Putin as much as Steve Witkoff. I don't know anybody on TikTok or I don't know that's seen the Secret Service as the Krassensteins. So they're doing something right,
Hopefully
folks. The
not anymore, but
I know, but I'm saying dude, they're doing something right, because I mean you can't make this shit twice. Like I
yeah,
mean,
my wife doesn't like it, so I'm trying to
I
stay
know,
out
I
of
know,
it.
I trust. Yeah, my wife would kill
Brian,
me.
the fucking Secret Service are here again, Brian. What did you tweet this time? I get it, but the Secret Service don't come after me.
But,
It's
but
just
but think about it. This is Donald Trump's world we live in, folks. Anyway, Brian, have an incredible
thanks,
weekend.
Brian.
Say
Great
hi
to
to
see
your
you,
Yeah,
brother.
brother.
yeah,
Thanks a lot, man. Take care,
great.
guys.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
Anytime. Brian Krassenstein, ladies and gentlemen. The Krassenstein twins, you can find them on Substack. They are incredible, and they're probably a tier one follow on Twitter. And
Definitely,
you know,
yeah,
you know the
definitely.
funny part is that like you and I don't give a fuck about what anybody says, how they reply. It's just hillbillies, bots, and maggots. Like who gives a shit? Like it's how many times I've wished everybody good morning on Twitter, and someone's like, "Go fuck yourself, you liberal commie libtard," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter." But they get it. Like I get it. They get it 10 times the fact. They get it 10 times the fact. Good morning, Canada. Have a wonderful day today. Go fuck yourself, libtard, commie
like
prick.
I don't even understand how angry, like, you know, I look back at some of these people. I look back and, like, you just reminded me, like, PTSD, like, when we would go to the rallies
Yeah.
and, like, just being in the crowd and walking around and just hearing some of the shit, like, the anger, like, you're right. Like, you know, like, some stupid shit. Like, you know, somebody would, like, you know, Hillary Clinton would show a picture, kill her, take her out, destroy her. Like, what like you know, it's beyond the rage is crazy, but that's what they tapped into. I mean, that is what Donald Trump tapped into, and that's what you know, is why he was able to
Yeah.
do what he was able to do, because no common sense individual
Sure.
would be able to, you know, I mean,
So I got a
unless
question.
you're,
I
yeah,
got a question for
yeah,
you because
yeah,
it kind of leans into the previous part of our conversation where we're talking about this perception not being reality, specifically in Trump's world as he projects it to Americans. I want to move on to Venezuela where that is concerned. And you were the original deal maker when it came to trying to get Maduro out of Venezuela back in in the late 2010s, and obviously that didn't work out. Maduro was then, summarily kidnapped. That's fucking still amazing to me that we're talking about this. Kidnap Maduro and his wife. Fuck, just take them. Now the entire Maduro regime, specifically the hardliners, are running around with the Colectivos, which is basically the Venezuelan version of ICE. I don't know if anybody knows that, but they're a paramilitary organization, and they're doing what ICE is doing, but they're doing it to anybody that helped the United States. Now, the interesting part was that all culminated in this, I don't know what you call it yesterday, like a round table of Trump sitting with Rubio, and we'll get to the Rubio Trump exchange in just a second, where he was like, what is this? But this round table with like all of these oil executives, and Trump's like, y'all got to give me $100 billion and you're going to invest in Venezuela. It's the best oil in the world. This is 2 years after going, their oil's mud, it's shit, we don't need it. And then all the oil executives around there just were staring at him going, what the fuck is happening here? And at one point, Trump stood up, walked over to the window of the room he was in, looked at a fucking construction pit where the East Wing was and where the ballroom's going, and he goes like this, he goes, wow, what a view.
Yeah, yeah. Let me put this. I could you see well, you see it, but I
Wow, what a
right away
view.
when I watch those, I remember sitting in those rooms, sitting in there watching this shit happen, being there live, and thinking to myself, how fucking stupid was I, man? What drugs did they have me on? How did how was I there? How did I follow this man to literally I couldn't even
How did I
understand it.
follow this man to prison?
Oh,
Like, because
oh
you
my,
watch it now, right? And then you take
oh
yourself
my
back to
God.
when you were in round
Well,
tables with
he's a
him,
lot
meeting with
worse
him.
now. He's a lot worse. I'm gonna get.
Oh, yeah.
Dementia's kicked in. Stephen
Yeah.
Miller's taken over. I mean, there's a lot worse, but still, I mean, that's no excuse. I sit back and I think to it because the shit that happened back in the first administration didn't go
Mhm.
so much. 1.0 and 2.0 Trump were not that far apart, especially when it came into meetings like that, closed door meetings where it was part of like the retreat or part of his inner circle or stuff like that. But let me tell you. The best was the two best moments I liked was that I think was it Exxon.
The
The
Exxon CEO.
the Exxon CEO when he just came up and he just gave such a beautiful speech. The best is what I was watching, what nobody noticed, nobody was talking about where Susie Wiles was sitting. Did you see that? She
No, I didn't
wasn't
see
sitting
who is
next
she
to
sitting with?
she wasn't sitting next to Donald Trump where she usually sits right next to
Yeah.
him, because since that article came out, all of a sudden she was sitting next to the Exxon CEO.
Oh,
So
that
I
was
was
her with
watching
the
that was
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
was watching her face as he was giving. He was sitting there like this, and he was giving the speech, and he was like, "Yeah, oh great, you speak a great, but you know what? Venezuela is a shithole right now where we can't invest anything. You destroyed
He
it.
called it uninvestable.
Uninvestable. That was the word." Because Donald Trump's face, I said Susie Wiles was like this. Susie Wiles went like that. And right away, Rubio's like, where's Chevron? Chevron's gonna where's
Chevron just backed out on national television. They just told Donald Trump this is a stupid idea and you can't get that. This is fucking Chevron. They're like, that's fucking country's uninvestable and their oil is shit and it's just too expensive. And did you see that? Okay, so culminating in that, Susie Wiles' face, didn't see it. I saw Donald Trump and Marco Rubio's face. Trump's face was like this. He
right?
wasn't
Like he
counting on
did
that. He wasn't counting on that. And then Rubio passes him a note. Folks, you have to go. I'm going to post an entire thing about it on my Substack, deanblundell.substack.com. But I was shocked because Rubio hands him a note, and it's a private note saying, the CEO of Chevron wants to speak to you after this meeting. So Trump grabs the note that Rubio slides to him inconspicuously, but very conspicuously. He
yeah.
picks it up and he's like, the CEO of Chevron wants to talk to you after. What's this?
Go ahead. Go
What?
ahead. Talk about it. Tell us what you
Go
want to
ahead.
talk about.
Go ahead, Marco. Talk about this. And Marco's like, no, that's a private note. No. You just read a
Marcos.
private note. And he's like, oh, and then he goes like this. Trump, go ahead, anyone?
Yeah.
The most
Let
wealthy oil organizations, their robber baron CEOs sitting around going like this. Like, if you looked at all the faces that weren't involved with the Trump regime, they were like this. Oh my
but,
God, this is a
but
fucking disaster.
by the way, we're gonna hold on. I got is Zev here? Make sure Zev's here. I gotta bring Zev up.
Is he? Is I don't know. He hasn't hit me back. But folks, I'll post that a summary of that actual press conference yesterday, which was just like you want cackistocracy, idiocracy wrapped up into one pet. But this was fucking absolute Trump
But let
gold,
me
baby.
but I mean it was beyond Trump goal. But if you want, I'm gonna give you guys hit those hearts. Make sure you guys baby, because I'm gonna give you some inside scoop of what really is going on. and
Please.
why and why a lot of these major oil companies don't know completely. They're like everybody's in shock because let me explain to you what the real deal. So so in the first administration, there
That
was a
meeting
group
was a
called
surprise to them too, wasn't it? They were like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" Anyway, continue. Please
yeah,
tell us the story.
yeah, no. And so first of all, folks, I'm going to give you because you are faithful. I'm going to give you some juicy stuff, some stories, some pictures today. But Zev Shalev is actually an incredible. You guys know him. He's an incredible investigative journalist. He used to do a lot of investigative work when it came to me. That's he looked into me, and when he saw an article that came out yesterday about my ex partner and what's going on. Zev connected the dots really quickly and said, "Holy shit, Lev! It's your guys are still running the show. The shadow diplomacy is in full blast." I said, "Absolutely." So we're gonna do a special either Sunday or Monday. So make sure you keep if you haven't become a paid subscriber, make sure you do because in that special you're also because it's Venezuela is an important topic. So we're gonna have some of you come up not only participate in the questions but also maybe one or two or three of you will just depending on how much time we have will bring you up for a question also if you okay as part of giving back a little bit to the community. So definitely we're going to do that, but just give you a little bit background of what's going on. You're watching right now a shadow diplomacy basically play out in front of your eyes.
Mm.
None of these you would think by them being there, and you would think what was happening was that these are the people that are in charge of figuring out and what's going on. And right now, the oil that's being taken away, and they're involved with the administration. None of these companies have a relationship with the Venezuelan government. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm going to tell you, listen to me very carefully again. None of these people, none of them, not Exxon, I mean, they know these people. They know Delcy Rodriguez, the current president, was the vice president, but they don't have a relationship because that is why they don't do no business there. That is why they have been thrown out of the country. And that's why they've lost billions of dollars. Like some of the other, he said, they told Trump, well, we lost billions of dollars. He's like, don't worry about it. You'll make it up. We'll
That
figure it
was
out someday.
Chavez that did that. He nationalized it, kicked everybody out,
Right,
says we're going to do
right,
this for
right,
ourselves.
right.
Ended up stealing it for himself,
Yeah,
and to that point, that's why Donald Trump says that's ours because it
yeah.
was
That's
theirs in the '80s and '90s. Yeah.
right. So So anyway, but there is one person that has an incredible relationship, not only with Nicolas Maduro, but very importantly, and this is what I'm going to give you guys some breaking news, and this is you're hearing it first. Some people already broke it, but this gentleman right here, is, I'm going to let you read it. Can you read
Harry
that?
Sargeant. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to read the top, what the article says? This broke yesterday. This was Axios, right? Or Reuters. What does it say, Dean?
Yeah, that's Reuters. But yeah, I'll read it to people in just a second.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
can't quite see it through the screen, so I'll get it for everybody. But you sent this to me this morning, and it's funny because you and
yeah.
I knock each other back and forth. And you've mentioned this guy because you were at a table with him. He was also part of the first delegation and deliberation back when you tried to get Maduro out and do the same deal minus military interventions. Names.
Well, he was the leader. He was the leader of the pack. I mean,
Yeah,
he was my part. So you gotta understand. So back then, I was dealing with Ukraine. I had an energy company that we were excuse me, trying to send LNG gas to Ukraine. And I'm giving you a little story time with Lev, folks. So enjoy it. At the same time, Harry had a very good relationship with Nicolas Maduro. Nicolas Maduro was like Harry's. He was younger than Harry a little bit, and they looked a little like his grandson, and they would laugh. But Harry really had a really good relationship, and still obviously does, with Delcy Rodriguez. Delcy, you have to understand, and that's why a lot of people don't understand, that she is like the Stephen Miller to Maduro, that Stephen Miller is to Trump. Delcy
Hmm.
was to Maduro was just more of a face, but Delcy, and a lot of people discounted it because she's a woman, and they shouldn't, because women are even more
She's the real
powerful than the.
terrorist. Yeah.
She's the real deal. She's the one that has the relationships with Russia, with China, with Harry, with all of us. Even in the administration, when we were talking about with Maduro getting a soft landing, or when we had our conversations, when we did our calls, even back then, I remember when Pete Sessions and Rudy, we were sitting there, we were talking about some pushback that Trump, because Bolton and Pompeo were giving pushback, and they wanted Guaido to, take out Maduro. I remember even then that the conversation was, listen, we could even send Eric Prince and to take Maduro out. Back then, it wasn't kidnapping him. Back then, it was literally taking him out, and that Delcy would be a better partner with America. Back then, so these conversations were happening back then.
Well, she was
Be,
she was the preferred candidate for the Trump regime even back when you were involved with the Trump regime.
Correct. Well, yes, because she was willing to play ball. Maduro was already because he was the face figure. Maduro was like Trump. See, so in the Trump administration, Trump is the face. He goes out there, makes the loud noises. He goes out there, makes the crazy comments. But the people really running the show, the policies that we're seeing that are getting destroyed, are the people behind Project 2025. It's not Donald Trump himself. It's people like Stephen Miller. It's
Vought.
people like Russell Vaught and a whole group of others that are intertwined and implanted in our
Dude, the
right now.
fucking the ambassador to Canada, Pete Hoekstra, was one of the authors of 2025 too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct, right.
Yep.
So those are the same thing when it comes to when it came to Maduro. Maduro became the face. That's why you saw him dancing. Him and Trump were having their whole thing, but behind the scenes, Maduro was not the real connection between all of these other dictators and the money, and it was really Dulcie. So he was always expandable, and that's why I said this was all pre-planned. This was part of giving Trump his win. Nothing
Mhm.
changed. People in Venezuela are waking up right now and basically saying to themselves, "What the hell is gone?" Yes, Maduro's gone. He's a bad dude, but nothing changed. They're, like you said, they have their own version of their own ICE and Gestapo roaming the
Lopez,
streets.
Cabello,
Cabe,
Rodriguez, all the
they're
fucking hardline assholes. Yeah.
all the hardliners are there. They didn't sanction it. Instead, they lifted the sanctions. Now, basically, they're just doing business. So
Yep.
think about Delcy Rodriguez was also on the wanted list. So were all of these generals. And
Yep.
so Trump just basically said, because they gave him Maduro, he gave him a get out of jail free card, basically a pardon,
Yep.
because now he's doing business with them, and now he's allowing them, because think about it, all that oil was sanctioned. That oil, and it wasn't only sanctioned because it was to put sanctions on Venezuela, but it was sanctioned because the oil was going to places like Iran, Russia, China, places where we were trying to make sure that it didn't get to. So now Donald Trump, he said, we're open for business. So basically now, and that is why these oil companies are not on the same page, because these oil companies would be on the same page if Donald Trump supported Machado, if
Yeah.
Donald Trump supported a real regime change and a real difference where the people, because they understand, they've seen this before. They understand that while
Well, there's no
Delsey's in power,
stability for them.
well,
None.
no, it's not even about stability. They understand Donald Trump is on his way out. Another year, another 6 months, another 2 years, another whatever. Once he's gone, they understand whoever comes back in power, the Democrats gas. They're going to wipe out. They're going to go after. They're not, and what's going to happen in Venezuela? You think Delcy Rodriguez is going to all of a sudden, as soon as Donald Trump is out of there, you're going to see Delcy Rodriguez
That's
basically
interesting.
take over
Yeah.
and steal everything back again.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop her? Because what, we're going to go to war with Venezuela? We're not going to go to war. It's going to be the 1980s Chavez all over again. And these executives are seeing this, and that's why you saw the Exxon say, well, "You're crazy! Like, we saw this play out. We lost billions of dollars." So Trump was just trying to get him to commit. He's saying, "Look, we'll go if you give it." Just think about this. If you look at what the Exxon executive said, also the CEO, he said they would need such security just to send their first team just to do their
Survey.
analysis and
Yeah.
surveys and stuff. I mean, because it's unstable. Plus the instability. Just also to give you more validation to what we're saying, that this is not just some conspiracy theory that we're talking about, is also take a look at what's going on right now with Colombia. All
Yeah.
of a sudden, Donald Trump doesn't want to take Colombia out. All of a sudden, Donald
Yeah,
Trump is
he has a
inviting him
phone
to the
call
White
with
House.
Gustavo
He's
Petro, and
inviting him
he's
to the
like,
White.
"Great guy, he's coming to the White House now."
He's
Yes, I told
inviting
him
him
I'd
to the
kick
White
his
House.
ass, but yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
why?
so but not only that, have you noticed there's also no more conversation about drugs? It's only oil now.
Yeah.
Before we took Maduro out, all we could talk about was fentanyl, drugs, wiping out
Democracy.
democracy. Now all of a sudden, it's not that. We're in business, folks. Now we're in business. Now we're selling oil. The president of the United States is an oil broker dealer right now and selling oil. Plus, you gotta understand that there's a difference also, and I'm going to write a big letter about the difference. You see why people like Harry Sargeant and Harold Ham are really the people making money in Venezuela right now. None of these big oil companies can make money, and I'll explain to you why. Because there's different products when it comes to oil. There's the sludge,
Different
there's
types
heavy
of oil.
oil, that
Yeah.
not only different types, but also there's also things that come off where you could use for asphalt, concrete, and other mineral that like that oil you can't sell it as oil, but there's a commodity, there's a market for, like, the waste, let's say, or what I'm saying to you. That's where Harry Sargeant is specialized. He's been doing business with Delcy Chavez. He goes back to the 80s doing business with Venezuela. His relationships and connections, is the only one there. Like, remember, we had a contract. He didn't lose money in Venezuela, like the Exxon there. So his relationship, he's and this article that now came out is basically explaining to you what's happening right now. There's a shadow diplomacy that's being run right now. The deal making between Venezuela is being done by people, my ex-partners, and people that are that are making right now the money, because they're the ones that are participating in brokering these deals. And the funny part is, a lot of this oil this is the crazy part. This is why it's all theatrics, folks. Like, everybody said, "Oh, Trump took a Russian. He took their what's it called?
Tanker.
Oh, tanker, Russia." And then all of a sudden
Yeah, I
he
want to
sells
get
them
into that.
wait, and then he sells them the oil, though. So why are you what I'm saying to you? I always say, watch what they do, not what they say. It's all
Yeah.
theatrics, folks. At the end of the day, nothing changed, except for Maduro is now sitting in MDC. His people sold him out, so because they're still staying in power. The people of Venezuela, unfortunately, are going to go through some things and suffer even more. These major oil companies, I could promise you, are not going to invest. This was all a you're going to have people like the second tier or third tier oil, the guys that are willing, like the Harry Sargents, that are willing to go risk, and to make a lot, risk a lot, reward type of situation. And these are the people. So you're not going to see this imaginary story that Donald Trump is selling. And as far as these tankers, he keeps taking, because he
Yeah.
keeps taking him because just to get paid a commission. It's
Yeah,
all a
it's
game.
it's
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 not.
it's
It's to get
just
paid.
piracy,
He's like, oh,
folks.
this is go. He's like, this is going to China. Okay, let's get it, guys. We got it now. You guys want it? Okay, give me my vig. You got it. It's like a mobster. Like
Yeah.
this. That's all he's doing. The Venezuelan people aren't getting the money. Just think about the other thing. He's putting the money offshore. In
Mhm.
the offshore.
He fucking admitted it.
No, but think about it. The president of the United States is not putting money in an American bank. In the
Mhm.
American bank, he's putting money in some foreign offshore.
He
Why
admitted
offshore?
it.
But why offshore? Like, who's he hiding from? Usually, people put money offshore to hide from the Americans.
Well,
You, you
and to your point, you put it
who's he
offshore to hide it
hiding?
from the fucking government. He is the fucking
Right.
government. He's putting
That's
it
what I'm saying
offshore
to you. Like,
because it's not going to the American fucking people, ladies and gentlemen. He's not putting it into the fucking treasury. He's not pirating these
no,
fucking boats. He's not taking over these tankers. Now that's the third one. He's not taking over these tankers and selling the oil so that American
no. This is how
taxpayers can
I'll tell you
benefit.
how it's
He's
going.
giving it to himself. Please do.
I'll tell you how we were doing. I'll tell you what the plan is. I'll tell you exactly how they're doing it.
Yeah, because
So
I
I
can
don't let.
guarantee you they didn't come up with an original plan since the last time you were
No,
involved.
no, no. They're getting 10% of the take. So like when you see 50 million barrels of oil, that what's it called? That group is getting 5 million barrels. So yeah, 40 million, 45 million barrels are going to go to wherever they were going, and and not the country of Venezuela is the dictatorship of Venezuela. So people like the current president. Just think about how quickly she became current president and business as usual.
Oh, like immediately.
Like
Immediately. Immediately. Not
the
only does
next
she
day,
become president business as
I
usual, she then embraces the Russian diplomat, the Iranian diplomat, the Chinese diplomat. And Donald
but the
Trump's
best
like, she's going to do a great job. As long as she
but
listens to me, she's going to do a great job.
the best part is why don't you read in the article if you want to see in the article there's a quote they're saying that they ask Harry, and Harry says, I believe that she will work very hard, and eventually when it's time she will step aside, just like Maduro was supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Just like if you
Yeah.
like, folks. So I'm gonna give you a little treat. A lot of you might have seen it already, but some of you that might have not. So if you haven't yet, make sure you get your shadow diplomacy. So there's like 2, 3 paragraphs in here, not chapters, like 3 chapters in here, literally about Venezuela. I never thought that Venezuela was going to be such a big thing. I was always Ukraine, the impeachment, but you know what, folks? Now it's all about Venezuela. And if you really want to connect the dots, who the real players that are running the show
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes, how the money's being made, how the contracts, everything, you need to pick it up. And I'm just going to show you some stuff in here, some pictures. So this is. Uh, so I'm going to give you some also breaking news that nobody's ever reported on. What's it called? So in the article also they talk about how Harry Sargeant only played golf with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago a couple of times. They've never spoke about Venezuela. They've never done none of this, like, just like he met that. So I'm going to give you
Like
some
Trump's
little
never
stuff.
met you. Yeah, same
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
So
Yeah.
this is in one of the chapters in the book. This is in August 18th of 2018. This is me, Donald Trump, Harry Sargeant, and Paul Okoloko. Paul Okoloko is a billionaire. What's it called? Oil magnate from Nigeria. So I'm just giving you the what's it called, the layout. So at that meeting, as I told you, for those of you that have followed me, part of the way we interacted. So the media, the people, it was all shadow diplomacy. Is we would meet at the photo line. So during the photo line, we would have those 2, 3 minutes to interact. So before we took the picture, like donors take pictures. They spend
Mm.
all this money. Before we took the picture, we would stand there and talk and get things done. So somebody caught a picture. This is why I'm saying history. You can't make this up because, like, I didn't know this was happening. So somebody was standing in back of me, and you're usually not allowed cameras. One of their own employees, Trump's one of the people that work for the America First, wanted to take a picture of me and Donald Trump to give me because I was like their top donor. They loved me and give me a picture as I'm going through the line. Not an official picture that they're taking, but they want to give. So they snapped the picture as I'm handing Donald Trump a letter from Nicolas Maduro, and they snapped this picture of Donald here. He takes the letter as he putting as they're trying to pull me away. You see, he takes the letter and puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My God, dude.
right,
That is fucking hilarious.
right after that is this is me, Harry, and um, Igor. This is
Mhm.
when on Harry's private jet when he dropped us off in Washington and he went to meet up with Maduro and Delcy Rodriguez when we had our phone call to do what's it called. So I mean, like a lot of connecting the dots. But we're also gonna do a special with Zev Shalev and Dean. I don't know the date yet. Zev looks like he's been partying a little hardy last night.
Yeah, yeah, he went out
So
last night. He
yeah,
he he
yeah.
had to he
So
had to blow off a little steam, so we haven't heard from him today. We were
so,
supposed to get him on.
so, but when Zev gets back and we'll give you guys, so make sure to stay tuned and because what you're seeing play out in Venezuela is just the beginning. I'm going to break it all open for you in such a way where they will. I promise you, we're going to stir up some shit. So that's why we need to grow our community, our movement big as quick as possible because when we go out there to Washington D.C., folks, I want to see a sea of enough is enough. Like literally, I just want to see enough is enough because we've come to a point where in our life where we say this is bad and we were talking about right before Brian jumped in and I wanted to continue to answer your question because it was a really good question, like how are we allowing our own eyes with the video. Just think about what they did with January 6th. Just
Yeah.
think about that for a second. I want to do like a tale of two women for a second, folks. Just give you a little story, and then after that, we're going to go to American until Jacob Carsborough comes up. We'll do American Citizen. Will come up for a few minutes and discuss with us.
Sounds
But I
good.
want to do. I want to. You could text Jacob in the meantime, see what his schedule is. But I want to do a tale of two women. Both of them lost their life because of one man, Donald Trump. Both of these women, one of these women was radicalized. One of these women was cultized. One of these women was brainwashed. Whatever you want to do, put in a position like even you heard me say a little while ago. Like I can't believe that I was a part of this shit because
Mm.
when you really like. So I can understand. I understand the anger we have for the January Sixers, but not all of them. Keep in mind were and what's it called? The Proud Boys. Not all of them were professional. A lot of these people were really brainwashed. A lot of these
Mm.
people really just believed their president was calling him out there, and that's no excuse. I'm not saying that they should get a pass. You should go to jail or do anything that. Absolutely not. So it's not like a ba 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 story for they are insurrectionists. They deserve it. Simple as that. But there was Ashli Babbitt. The, Here you got a woman that's radicalized
Mm.
that we have video. I mean, this is not just one video. We have nonstop video of her breaking down the Capitol with a bat, with a mob screaming, "Let's get in there." I mean, where you're seeing that testify, and you see one cop standing there with one pistol, not even an AK-47, with one
Warning her
pistol,
dozens of
warning her,
times.
dozens of screaming, "Get back!" Not just her, all of them screaming because if they break through, what's his little gun going to help him? Nothing. They're going to bum rush. He understands,
Mm-hmm.
and she happens to be the one that starts climbing through and makes her first. He shoots her,
Yeah.
dies. Tragedy. Doesn't matter when American citizen died. It's a tragedy. Now you take a look at what Donald Trump did. He rewrote history. They turned her into a martyr, folks.
Yeah.
They made her into a hero. They gave her a post-mortem medal
Freedom.
of freedom. They
Gave
have
her
given
family
her.
$5 million.
They gave her family $5 million. Thank you very much, Dean. And now you take the other woman, also died because of Donald Trump, but she didn't die because of Donald Trump because she was radicalized. She didn't die because of Donald Trump because she was out there attacking police or our Capitol with bats and saying, "Take him down." She died because she was trying to be an American citizen, using her God given rights that the Constitution that God gave us, using the humanity that we have inside of us. Because she was not under attack, folks. She is an American citizen. She could have stayed, dropped her kids off that day and went home, put the TV on, and said, "You know what? This doesn't concern me. Let somebody else handle it." but she did something what we are doing here. She's no different than any one of us, folks.
Mm.
She said, I'm going to do something about it. And when she dropped her kids off at school, with her dog in the car, with her partner in the car, they went into their community where they live, their community, in their car. And they just started warning people, immigrants, neighbors, that ICE was in their community. There's nothing illegal about there. There's nothing crazy about conspiracy. That's brave. That's somebody going out there doing, I mean, that's a true hero.
Yeah.
And these people not only killed her, executed her, but now they're trying to destroy her name. They're trying to destroy her life. I mean, this is a person that has a mother, has kids, has relatives, has a
A
partner that she
wife.
left behind, a
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? We can't stand for that, folks. That's why I say enough is enough. That's what I
Mhm.
really mean, and I really truly I want it to be embedded in our heads because when we wake up every morning, and when we put on the news or when we take a look at the one thing we all do is we get outraged, and we have every right to be outraged because
Mhm.
it's disgusting to think that this is the America that we live in, folks. Even people around the world, like Dean's in Canada, he wakes up outraged, can't believe that this is the America that is turning the whole world upside down
It's America I used
because
to
there
love. Yeah.
because it's chaos going around the world, and we live with that every single day. But the one thing that we don't do is we don't stop it. We talk about it, we dissect it, and then a new crisis comes around. Just think about Venezuela. Now we have the killing of, and say her name every day, Renee Nicole Goode. Renee Nicole Goode. Put it in there, folks, while I'm talking about her. May she be an angel, may prayers shine upon her and her family, and may she rest in peace. Because she was out there. Just think about her last words. The last words she said is, she said, "I'm not mad at you."
Hmm.
Just think about it. She said that to her executioner.
Who called
She
her a
looked her
fucking
executioner.
bitch after she said
That
that?
And the crazy part is they give you a video that thinks they somehow better it, but what they
Yeah.
don't realize is not they showed three critical things in that video. And I spoke to several prosecutors, AGs, three critical things that basically done. A, it shows his feet. His feet never get run over. His feet never get touched. His feet are facing away from the because when he points his camera down, you see his feet. He was not struck. He was maybe moved by it, but he was not struck by the vehicle. There was
Or
no
forced to
injury
move by it.
or
Yeah.
force.
Yeah.
The other thing is he couldn't have been struck that hard because his camera, it doesn't even flicker.
Hmm.
He's focused. While he's executing her, he's continually holding. So you're telling me his life is under danger, but he's holding the camera and he's going for his holster. He's shooting while he's videotaping. The next important part is that the shots are coming after the vehicle is coming,
Yeah.
after the vehicle has passed already. Those are three crucial shots. And then to put insult to injury, and as they said, put salt on the wound. Not only did he insult and curse at her, but he continued. What we don't have video of it yet, but I'm told it's gonna come out. He continued. He went up to her, videotaped her while she was in the car. Instead of giving her first aid, he videotaped it,
As
turned
she bled to
around
death. Yeah.
as she was bleeding to death, turned around, left, went like that, got in the car, and left.
Yep.
So I just want to say that's a tale of two stories. Both of them are tragic. Both of them should have never happened, but both of them are happening because of the dictatorship and because of what Donald Trump is in office. So this is why I'm telling you the story, folks.
Mm. Such a great story. Such a great comparison. Sorry, continue. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is important because I really want to, we don't usually have time to really settle in and stay focused. And a lot of people out there, a lot of good people have a lot of great ideas, and I want to make clear that they're all great ideas. There's not one thing that we could do to stop this thing. It's a coalition of all these things. all these movements, from going out there to protest in the freezing cold, to going out there making calls to your congressmen and congresswomen and senators, to putting emails, to donating, to all of these things are extremely, extremely, extremely important. And that's why I say you need to go out there. You need to make sure your voice is heard. You need to do it. Now's the time more than ever, no matter what the fear is like, because this is exactly right now what is part of taking our democracy back.
Mm,
But
mm.
here's where I'm going to focus you in, and I'm going to make it very clear. And I know it's hard because I even get emails sometimes from some of you saying, Lev, just leave the Epstein files alone for a second. Let us mourn Renee Nicole Good. And at first, when I read that email, it was a couple of emails, not that many, but at first I was like, maybe this person's right, like, maybe. And I read it, as I read it more, and as I read more, I want to be honest. And if that person is one of our subscribers listening, instead of responding through an email, I want to, say it to everybody out there. If you really want justice for Renee Nicole Good, if you really want to save our democracy, if you really want to be able to stop this division and get back to, so we're not talking about all this lunacy around the world, but we're trying to start getting to healing and unification, uh, we need to concentrate on what weapon we have to be able to stop him. Because we are in a war, folks. And you can't be emotional in a war. That's why soldiers, that's why military personnel, sometimes they're very hard and they take the emotion out. They have to make difficult decisions to be able to get to the task at hand.
Yeah.
These are difficult decisions because right now the difficult decision is to keep our attention and focus on the Epstein files. Because, folks, I want you to understand that is the only thing right now that unites not only this country, the world, but also a big, most of MAGA. Most of these Republicans that are right now are out there trying to discriminate, take down this poor young lady's name, Renee Nicole Good. Renee Nicole Good. They're trying to erase her name. So if you want to help Renee Nicole Good and all the Renee Nicole Goods out there and all the people suffering from the health crisis to what these maniacs are doing with the vaccines and the measles, to the economy, to what's happening to Venezuela, to Ukraine, all of these, to ICE and the streets, they're all huge issues, each and every one of them. And there's a ton more that I could add to the list. But none of these issues, and this is what I made clear, you might like what I have to say or not, but none of these issues, unfortunately, will make a difference because they are all partisan issues. They are all issues where the right will stand behind Donald Trump and they will stand up against, and we will get nothing done. And if anything, we will be at a standstill. And what's going to happen is he's eventually going to do the Insurrection Act and he's not going to allow elections. So for everybody that's sitting out there and all the pundits are saying, let's sit back and wait till the midterms. We're gonna, summertime. We're gonna go out there and you don't have this time. I've been sounding the alarm. We've been talking about this for months prior to this, and you've seen everything transpire and what's happening. I'm not trying to scare you to a point where it's like fear mongering. I'm trying to scare you to wake you up and understand that right now we are living in a time where we could wake up at any moment. Right now, it could be breaking news. Right now, Donald Trump invokes martial law. Insurrection Act sends in the troops into Minnesota. And here we are, folks. The elections are canceled. No midterms. And then what? Then what? What? You're never going to see the Epstein files. You're never going to see anything because while martial law, while insurrection, you don't even know how long he could keep it in. I mean, we're going to go into such uncharted waters that we don't know how to even get out of.
Hmm.
That is why I'm saying right now we have that. And I know, and I could tell you some stuff behind the scenes. I've spoken to Rokana, I've spoken to Matt, what's his name, Raskin, and they're working. They're right now filing motions inside court to have a judge, hold Pam Bondi accountable. But we need to make our voices strong. We need to continue. What's it called? Yes, keep saying her name. Keep saying Renee Nicole Good. Good. Absolutely. But in that same voice, in that same breath, say release the Epstein files. In that same word, remind them. Because what I'm saying to you, and that's what we're going to do different. While everybody out there is protesting, going out there marching, and doing what they're doing, and God bless them, and we need all of this help. We're putting together a major march onto Washington, D.C. And this is going to happen in the next 2 3 weeks. We're waiting to get whatever permits, we're waiting to get whatever approval, and we're not only going to just going to Washington D.C., but we're going to go walk through the halls of Congress. We're going to cause a lot of good trouble. We're going to cause a lot of, as they say, we're going to wake up a lot of people that have been asleep. And the most important thing we're going to do is we're going to put shine a spotlight on a bunch of these Congress people that have been hidden behind the scene, that are out there right now. Because remember, we only talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greens and all the big names, but there's 200 of them there, and there's some of them that are. And we've been doing our Apple research, and I could tell you, and I've been telling you for months. We've been working on it. They're ready to crack. And the Epstein files, you saw the vote. You saw it was unanimous, except for one idiot. Except for one idiot. I'm not even gonna say his name. It was a unanimous vote
Yep.
on the right and on the left. You see, so what I'm saying to you folks, that is why you see Donald Trump playing this again. Look at him. He's again shining oil. He's happy, waiting to see if he could go, what's it called, show the military might onto Minnesota. While at the same time, the real reason he's happy, the real reason they're all enjoying is because the Epstein files are
We're not
nowhere to
talking
be.
about it. Yeah.
And we're not talking about the all the people behind it. We are not talking about all the what's it called, the names of the powerful of people. So I want to say we're going to do it. So that's why make sure. I want to just quickly, before we're going to bring American citizen up here for a few minutes while we're waiting for Jacob. By the way, you
Just
know
got
what?
an update from
Oh,
Jacob. He's just getting to the airport. When he gets settled, he's going to jump on with
so
us as soon as he
perfect. So
can.
we'll get
Yeah.
American citizen up in the meantime, and when Jacob
Yeah.
comes up, we'll get Jacob up. But definitely, I just wanted to make sure. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, and while you're
Um,
finding American Citizen, and folks, this
yeah.
is about you. This whole
Mm.
podcast, this entire Substack Live. Get us your questions, Q&A. Put them in the chat. We're running this on the side, and here we're bringing some people up. We're hopefully going to get Jacob on. Hopefully Zev wakes up and jumps on with us as well. But more importantly, this is for you and about you. So get your questions in. If you're a paid subscriber, that is why we do this, to inform everybody. Everybody can watch it, but only paid subs can ask questions. Burning questions, only paid subs can get on and rant, like the American Citizen is going to jump on with us in just a second. But to wrap up what you just said, which is incredibly fucking important, I think that a lot of us sit back in awe every day where there's a new distraction that's nuclear, right? Invading Greenland, that's nuclear. Talking about invading Canada, Cuba, Panama, Colombia. Those are nuclear conversations that if you do that to one country, that's in a news cycle in a normal time for a week. This man is a fucking howitzer of distractions and absolutely egregious statements and crazy fucking ideas, and that is why it works. And if you think for a second that this regime isn't happy with the fact that the conversation has switched from the Epstein files and the complete dereliction of duty of meeting the expectation, the legal expectation of releasing those Epstein files, they are in complete breach of the fucking Epstein Files Transparency Act, to the point where, as you've pointed out, they're preparing articles of impeachment. But none of those things will fucking matter if Donald Trump doesn't lose influence. And the only way he loses influence, to Lev's point, is by focusing on the fucking nuclear bomb that he is trying to cover up with all this other bullshit, whether it be Greenland, whether it be Minneapolis, whether it be Venezuela, because he knows he's going to lose 89% of the American public. And that's MAGA. Those are progressives. Just a big fucking wide swath want to know who did what to these girls. So it's not just about getting and effectuating change on behalf of what Donald Trump is trying to do and what he did to Renee Nicole Goode. And I'm with Lev. Say her fucking name all weekend, my friends. That is as much, if not more important, to focus on the Epstein files now because you don't want that to fucking happen again. And it happened the next day in Portland. A
Yeah.
married couple got shot in Portland. And what excuse did they use, Lev? The same excuse they used to murder Renee Nicole Goode. Car as a weapon, radical left lunatic, mobbed up, drugs, gangs, terrorist, the dehumanization of anybody, to your point with Ashli Babbitt and Renee Nicole Smith, the dehumanization of anybody that stands up to him, that gets their comeuppance, as opposed to anybody who's with him that gets their comeuppance, is a complete fucking red flag that everybody should be talking about today. And the fact that you use that example, my friend, literally, the fact that you said, I'm going to tell you a story about two women who died tragically and it's Donald Trump's fault, Ashli Babbitt and Renee Nicole Goode, was a perfect example of the disassociative nature of every MAGA supporter who cannot see clearly that when someone dies due to his policies and his rhetoric, he treats the intention of that person that died very differently. He made Ashli Babbitt a martyr. Fuck, he made Charlie Kirk a martyr. And if you
Mhm.
want to apply, and this is very fucking important, philosophically and more morally, it is very important. If you want to apply the same fucking MO that Donald Trump is applying to the death and the murder of Renee Nicole Goode, which is she fucking deserved it because that was her rhetoric. She was part of this rhetoric laden crew who advocated for these things. And let's just say she was a radical left lunatic. And let's just say she advocated for pushing ICE around and standing in front of them. Let's just say that that's who she was. Charlie Kirk was an advocate for death by gun. Are we not allowed then to say that Charlie Kirk deserved to die? Because Donald Trump and his proxies are saying the same fucking thing this morning. All of them for the last 3 days, desperately trying to point a finger at Renee Nicole Goode as someone who deserved to die because she was standing in his way and was part
But
of a radicalized mob where that fucking happens. Well, Charlie Kirk was part of a radicalized mob who said a few gun deaths are necessary if we're going to uphold the fucking
but
Second
that's
Amendment.
but that's part of the plan, Dean. And I'm glad you're talking about this. Is so important. I want everybody out there to understand because, guys, remember, I was part of Mega. By the way, American citizen, I sent you the invite. Please pick it up. If not, because we're gonna have to go on to the next segment. But I just want to let you understand that as somebody that was there building Mega, this is all part of the plan, and I'm gonna explain to you how because it's all about taking the Democrats' anger, frustration, and knocking them off balance. And that is why I'm trying to say, and very importantly, we have to channel our anger. We have to
Mm.
channel our frustration. We have to keep our eye on the ball. We have to stop getting distracted because that's all part of the plan. And I'll explain to you because they know, and when I was part of them, they know that Democrats have heart. The Democrats try to unify all the time. So when Charlie Kirk died, they knew that the Democrats are not going to come out there and attack him and say, oh, instead the Democrats were coming out. Yes, you had some jokes, you had some this, you had some people that come out and have all the right to talk about him because, like you said, Charlie Kirk was no angel. But most of the Democrats were coming out and saying it's wrong. It's wrong that he died. Nobody should die. Nobody should die. Now take a look at the flip side. When it comes to the Republican side, all the Republicans are agreeing that you need to take him out.
Yep.
They have it's
They
it's
deserve to
part
die.
and the reason why they're doing it and we'll get to you in a second. American says welcome to Love Remembers, but keep in mind they are trying to right now for you right now everybody because they know these words they say they know right now the country is angry. They
Mm-hmm.
know this death of Renee Nicole Goode. Everybody's angry, and they're trying to make sure. But usually, when people are angry, it's common sense. You make mistakes. You don't concentrate. You let your emotions run. Most people make
Yeah.
most of their mistakes when they're emotional. Most
Make
people
decisions
regret,
when
and
emotional. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they say that's the first thing they taught me about business. Don't make any decisions as a trader or anything when you're emotional. Don't let it go on emotions, and that's what I'm trying to say to everybody because this is, and I know it's hard because emotions are running wild. I'm trying to
Mhm.
keep, and that's why for the past several days I've been going from Joy Reid. Yesterday we were with Wajahid Ali and Joy Reid. We had an incredible show, and others where I'm constantly saying, keep your eye on the ball, folks.
Mm.
Don't channel your anger, channel your frustration. That's not to say don't grieve. That's not to say don't go there and protest. That's not to say that keep saying her name, Renee Nicole Smith, but also understand that push the weapon that we have. Don't forget the what really will unite this country, what really will stop Donald Trump, what really will expose the biggest cover up in the world, what really will be able to stop the killings of the Renee Nicole Goods out there is by getting Donald Trump out of office.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get him out of office by being frustrated and just making this the issue. Because as you could see, they drew the line in the sand. They are not agreeing with you. They don't have the same humanity as we do. They're not agreeing. They don't see the same thing we see. They're telling you already that this is just like the Zelensky conversation and the perfect phone call. This is like the call to the what's it called in Atlanta, in Georgia. This is the same thing as they're whitewashing January 6th. This is the next whitewash. They're making a stand. So what I'm saying to you is they want you, Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Susie, they all want to drag you into this fight.
Yeah.
Because then they understand this is a fight that will not stop Donald Trump, because that will unite the base more and will unite them. That's why I say keep doing what we're doing, but simultaneously support Congressman Rokana, Massey, and everybody in there right now. Call your media. They could be reporting on what's happening in Minnesota, and they should still be reporting on Epstein. You don't see it in the blurs. Like Les Waxner was subpoenaed. Nobody even knows about that. That is huge, folks. That
Massive.
this is such massive
Indike and
news. Like,
Richard Kahn too, his
right,
executors, his
his
buddies.
executive.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's even talking about this. The fact that they're finding millions now, 5 million or 10 million. We don't even know the amount of paperwork all over the
6.8
place.
million
Million.
extra files have been found. Yeah. So now
Well,
that means we have less than 1% of what was promised that was supposed to come out with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. This is fucking crazy.
and I spoke to Rokana, and it's not even what it is. It's the timing. It's what they're releasing. The problem is it's one thing if they were late. They're saying okay, but they were releasing unredacted names. They're releasing, even the stuff that they're releasing, they're covering up for all of these people. So anyway, folks, we'll get back to that in a little bit. We have American Citizen with us here. She's a subscriber. She's one of the family. All of you have reached out to me and said, please, Lev, have American Citizen up here. So we've tried to make it happen. I just want to give a quick note before we start. As far as I understand, American Citizen, you are not a certified financial advisor.
No.
You're not here to give
No.
anybody any financial
Nope.
advice. Everybody has their own issue. But what American Citizen is trying to do is she's studied, just like all of us, through her independent ways. She's found some loops that she thinks could be very helpful, and some very things that could be helpful for you, our community, our family, in a time of need right now. Because one of the things that is happening is our economy is going to shit. We all agree. We all understand. It's a matter of time. We're going to go through some things because of the tariffs and stuff like that. So everybody has some ideas. American Citizen, welcome to Lev Remembers, and tell us, what is it that you want to share with us?
Okay, give me like 5 minutes here. I went through, I wrote it all down. I got a lot of stuff. First
I'll
off,
give you
thank
6. I'll give you 6, American Citizen, maybe 7.
So Dean, first off, thank you for being the world's best impersonator of Kennedy. I love it. I almost peed my pants.
Oh, you mean RFK Jr.?
Yeah. So anyways, I just gotta say that, and thank you, Lev, for having me on here. Okay.
You're quite welcome, American Citizen. Thanks for showing up.
Oh my God. You and Todd Maddoff are like
Yeah, I
They're
can.
national gems.
It's my. Listen, I can do a bunch of different impersonations. I used to get in trouble for it a lot, and then we progressed as a society, so I had to stop doing certain ones. The RFK Jr. might be my favorite one. And folks, if you want a little quick tutorial, American Citizen, I'll give it to you. All you got to do is shake a little bit and go like this, and then you're good. You can do the RFK all day long. Anyway, continue. Give us some financial advice, please.
No, no financial advice. This is just general data. You go look and research into yourself.
Okay.
And then I have a number of ideas that you guys can do. These guys are firing you up. I can tell you things you can do. Okay, so first thing with the finances and with the healthcare, I have 2 different letters. I'll try to attach it to this live afterwards. All you have to do is copy and paste those, send those to your company HR departments. They will redirect it to the appropriate people. The first letter says you're not a financial advisor, but there are some things that concern you that make you think there might be an economic crash in 2026. So how can you reallocate your profiles? Portfolios so that you are more recession risk, like you're going to be better if we have a recession or a crash. And so it goes over things like there's a Bloomberg article in regards to an IA data bubble. There's also information on how JP Morgan in less than a week, you guys in December moved their whole gold desk from New York over to Singapore, their whole families, everybody. I know I'm trying to go fast because they're only giving me so many minutes. And so
No,
I
no,
need to
you
try to
take
get
your
through everyone.
time. You slow it down, my dear.
Take
Slow
it,
it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Because
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, any way you can subvert the fucking regime financially, I'm all in. So slow it down. What you're talking about,
Okay.
American Citizen, is listen, there's a coming recession,
Yes, that's
possibly
right.
depression.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen very carefully to this young lady because she's going to give you some tips and tools on how you can protect your net worth because Donald Trump is very, very serious about destroying it. Continue,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes. So because they can buy you up on the bankruptcy. This is a clearance sale for the rich people.
Yeah.
This is intentional.
Mhm.
So but Bloomberg had put out an article in regards to an AI data bubble, plus Meta, has all these you guys, all these AI companies are putting out trillions of dollars. They're only making double-digit billions of dollars. Like this isn't going to go well. And these AI data centers, if those go bust, who do you think is going to pay for those? Yeah, not
You.
them. So anyways, the point to this is there's AI data bubble. There's the whole JP Morgan moving their whole gold desk, their families, everybody to Singapore, a non-extradition country to here in 1 week, you guys. Is that I'm sure that's not trouble. You have information like the fact that New York Times on November 17th stated that they were reducing the regulations on the Fed, which makes it harder for them to see a bank failure, and it was setting us up to have the regulations pre 2008, which led us to that crash dash, setting us up for the next crash.
So,
And then the
American Citizen, can I ask you a quick question? What you're talking about is the repo market, right? You're talking about the amount of money deregulating, how much money the
oh
government can give banks, and they've been flooding banks with tens or hundreds of billions of dollars to keep them afloat quietly.
yes,
Correct? Yes.
yes, and there's the Fed repo markets as well, and that's been beginning of October through November, because when I was looking at it, it was like something like $110 billion,
Yeah.
which is like basically the repo markets are like pawn shops, you guys. If you're constantly going to the pawn shop, ain't a good sign. And the Genius Act, go look at that because that allows the banks to take your money, turn it into crypto, then buy you T-bonds, our debt, and then with the money, the fees they're making, you guys, the money they're making, they can go and get more of our debt. So they're going to make more and more money as we go more and more in debt. And if you look at the Genius Act, I believe that if you're in crypto, which is what they're purchasing it with, they get paid back first. If there's a failure, we get paid back last. So I'm
Mhm.
just saying that this letter basically it goes over some ideas and it says, hey, maybe could you look at the possibility of looking into hard assets? There is a reason why copper, gold, these iridium, these minerals, you guys are going sky high because that's what all the rich people are doing because they know the US dollar is going to tank. Then there's energy. And then I'd said this, by the way, 2 months ago, you guys, something like 2 months ago. And this was before the Brown University Engineering Fusion Plasma Center was shot, you guys. Huh. And then like 2 days later, that MIT guy, 47 years old, died. What was his profession? Oh, fusion energy. Huh.
Yeah,
And then less than
nuclear
2 days
fusion
after that,
physicist. Yeah.
they bought into fusion. So like that's what is that,
Oh,
you guys?
not
That's
only
energy.
fusion, they bought into a Russian-backed fusion company out of the UK.
Yes.
Six
Yeah.
billion. Yeah.
So my point to you is that if you're looking at hard minerals, if you're looking at energy and you're looking at international stocks, that might be a portfolio more looking forward to. And here's the thing, usually in a recession, what they'll do is they'll buy bonds. The issue, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think the bond market is safe either. The EU has stated if he continues to act like Russia, they will dump their bonds. Carnegie is buying our treasury bonds, you guys. He could dump that. If they do that, our economy is dead right now. And already right now, we have Colombia and several other
China
countries that are now
also.
using BRICS. They are bypassing the US dollar. Our dollar will continue to go down. So anyways, my point to this is this. I will add on to the bottom of this because I have several other ideas and I want to get to them here. All you do is you copy and paste these letters, you guys, you send them to your HR departments. They can then send it to the right people. They can reallocate your retirement, accordingly so that you don't lose all your money. Maybe you lose 20%, but not 80%. You could take this and use it for your own Roth. Understand this too. FDIC is the insurance for your banks. If the banks go down, then you say, okay, $250,000 you can get back no matter what. Well, if these all go down, you guys, you may not get all of that. And you may want to like distribute your money. Let's say you have $300,000, put it between 3 different banks. Maybe one bank doesn't go
That
down, the other two
definitely.
does. Like, I'm just telling you, this is not going to be a normal time, you guys, and it's being engineered. So protect yourselves. The other part is healthcare. So the other letter, you just click the link at the bottom, goes to the separate letter, copy paste, you guys, put it into your HR department. This one might be better if you go to the 5 or 10 largest companies in your state. Hey, Deep AI, what are the 10 biggest companies in my state and what's their emails to their HR departments? Send it to them, copy paste. And what it is, it's looking at doing things like having everybody have catastrophic healthcare insurance from their corporations. And then your companies, especially the larger ones, you guys, then the smaller ones could use them. They're going to create direct physician care networks where basically they bypass insurance, you guys. You don't use insurance. It's a flat rate to your doctors so that you could actually afford your healthcare next year. And for people who are sick, who have cancer, who have, okay, look at international healthcare international healthcare plans. And what your company could do is this, is say, hey, out of 5,000 employees, we have 800 that have a sickness or illness. What they could do is get you bulk discount pricing for that. Okay, so these are just copy and paste ideas. So those are the
International.
two. I will add that to the bottom of this live. But here's some other ideas for us as women, okay? And to understand a few things, there are things we can do. These guys are getting you riled up. I can get you. I'll tell you what you can do. So here's some things, you guys. We need communications because what they're doing with the Ellisons, they're buying up all the communications so that they're gaslighting everybody. What we can do is this. Billie Eilish gave 20% of her net income to feeding the poor. We need someone like that or a Swift to buy. You go to Instagram creators or TikTok creators. They've already created the wheel. Say, hey, can you put a few bells and whistles on it? Make an Instagram or TikTok 2.0. But when they're making it, you guys, they won't have shadow bans. They won't be reducing the algorithm. We can get information out and they won't be pushing porn. That is how we keep communications, everyone. And when these guys try using, it's called the Kosher Act and the SAVE Act, you guys, it's kids online safety. No, what it is attaching our driver's licenses to social media so that we are going to be quieted, you guys. If these guys were to create on a different server in a different country, one of these platforms, they can't do that to us, you guys. And we get to continue to get that information out. This is vital because if they buy in and get CNN too, we're screwed. Now, another thing we can do is this is before May, before Colbert leaves, we can do, you guys, we can be sending this message to Colbert now. We could be sending out things to the Swifties and to Billie Eilish, groupies. Get this message to these people because they have the money, they have the will, and they would want to change something. Stephen Colbert could have a platform on a server in a different country and say, hey, guess what? Before he leaves in May, I'm going to have this platform. And by the way, you can have The View, you can have Terry Moore, and you can have all these different people. You could have comedians out there and say, okay, I'm going to have a monthly newsletter. You have your subscription there. Anybody who goes there will automatically see this is a platform for everybody telling the truth within news and comedy because we have to have the communication stay up. Also, everyone, hashtag file tax exempt. Don't pay until April. Then you can do file IRS form 4868. That's 4868. Don't pay until October. If you file that form, you guys, you may have to pay interest in October, but why are we paying any federal taxes in there? Hashtag bedroom blackout. Ladies, if your guys are not actively trying to help people like, Lev, like if, and Dean, you got your lady, okay, whipped cream, whatever you want. But if you're not actively trying to help people, then guess what? Not even a sniff, you guys, not even a sniff. Tie your tubes, hashtag tie your tubes. Look at Project 2026. They want Gilead here, people. The other thing we can do is boycott GPO donors. You guys, you can go in. I have an AI prompt. It's somebody else's. I modified it a little bit, adds information on criminality and everything. But those donors, you guys, you just put in the name of your the political person you want to look at. That's it. Copy and paste that in, press enter, then it has the donors. Copy and paste that, put in, tell me what is their public phone number, email to get a hold of them, and say, hey, if some of the things that we can ask for, you guys, is say, if you're a Democrat in DC, Which Democrats in D.C. will back the bill defunding ICE and $1.5 million from Trump, take more military funding? Congress is the purse, and we need them to set up. 1 second. I'm just trying to go through. Okay, which Republicans in D.C. are most likely to retire? Okay, so if we get the donors in D.C., the Republicans that are most likely to retire, what we can do is use that prompt, you guys, to do boycotts of the donors' products until those Republicans retire. Like we press the donors.
I can tell you this, all of them are great ideas, and absolutely, and I don't want you to rush because I know I see you're trying to get all these ideas in quickly. I want you don't have to rush. I what I recommend is because the stuff you're talking about, these are stuff that needs to be looked at, discussed. It does a lot of the stuff is movement tied. A lot of the stuff is financially tied, and some of the stuff I'll be honest with you, like mentioning going out there, Colbert, Swifties, and all of them. And I encourage you to speak to Jay. She heads up our volunteer group. I call her our chief of staff. But we are reaching out to all of them. We're trying. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. A lot of these people are scared. They don't want to get involved in the political heat right now, and a lot of them are doing their thing. But what I do is I want to thank you for sure, because we have also Alexander that just texted me. He's coming up and he's in Ukraine. We only have a couple of minutes for him, and I want to make sure. I want to thank you for coming up. I want to also tell everybody to give American Citizen a follow, subscribe. This way, you don't have to rush if you're interested in what she's telling you, and some of this stuff is important because, like I said, these are not financial advice. This is just Apple research that she has done and found some different loopholes and ways that you could use to be able to help yourself. She also has some great ideas for a lot of the women power movements out there. And if you definitely subscribe, definitely go follow her. And so you don't have to rush, because I don't want you rushing. I think these are important subjects. And I wanted to make sure that the community got to know what you're talking about.
Okay, first, if any of you guys know anybody, just give me one. Any Ellie Leonard, please subscribe to her. Danielle Moody, The Joy Reid Show, Heather Cox Richardson. I've Had It podcast are all really good. If you guys know any of these people, what you could do is ask them to have me come on their live. I make no money doing this, you guys. I'm just trying to get this information out to as many people as possible. We all have to protect our retirement funds, our health care, and there's a number of other things that we can be doing if we band together. I just need more people to hear the ideas. So if you could just, that would be cool. Thank you very much for letting me come on here. And I have to say this,
Absolutely.
thank you, Dean, for being a Canadian that doesn't hate us. Thank you
I
so much.
love y'all. I love all y'all. Listen, no problem, and very nice to meet you, American citizen. And before we get to Alex, listen, most of us in Canada, almost all of us, with the exception of a couple of hillbillies in the middle of the country, uneducated hillbillies that are hopped up on religious goofballs, like you have in your United States of America. Canadians fucking love America. We love Americans. We've been conditioned to it. We love your chocolate bars. We love your
love Canadians,
hospitality. And
and we
you
love
love us.
Canadians.
We're going to be
That's
best
Yes, we
friends
love you.
again. Yeah, we love you too, my dear. So don't you
lots of
worry.
love.
Don't you
Lots of
worry.
love
We
going on.
know. We
All right.
know.
I gotta get Alex for you.
All right.
American
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
citizen.
Bye.
Nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Yes.
Have
See
a
you next week.
great
You too.
weekend.
Bye. You too.
No
All
problem.
right, guys. We have a treat also. That was American Citizen. Give her a follow. Like I said, we have an incredible community here, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people from around the world, a lot of different professionals, specialties that give you definitely, if you are interested, give her a follow. Hold on. Oh, no, wrong. Let's see.
Yeah,
Alex.
and listen, we're gonna
I'm
put
sorry.
this out as a post a little later on. We'll include the letters that she's going to attach to the live. We'll reach out to her and we'll share that with you. But I think the two financial things that she was talking about, very, very fucking smart. Email your people that are managing your retirement, get them put into hard assets, and really try your very best to mute what is coming. Because financially, and it's not something that we've had a conversation about, waiting for Alex from Voice of Ukraine now, financially speaking, Donald Trump is coming after your wealth. It is unabated, and I'm done talking because of this beautiful man that just jumped on the screen. Alex Bolbier, Voice of Ukraine in Kyiv, smiling. How are you, my friend?
Alexander, what's up, brother?
An easy thing to do. Oh, guys, I miss you guys.
Alex, your volume is a little bit off.
How about now? Hold on a sec.
No,
Yeah, just throw those babies in. That's it.
yeah,
That's it. You got tech over there. You got
there you go.
earpods. There you go.
Is it better? Is it
Yeah.
better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
There
you. How
you
you
go.
feeling, buddy? How's your face? How are your
Well,
ribs?
listen, it's so nice to see you guys. And before I go into about myself, I wanna start with you. But I've been reading all the writings and all the caring, and this is the energy that helps me to get up every morning and keep on going again because I see I'm not alone.
His internet connection has been
Really,
Yeah, we're having a tough time.
is it better?
Oh,
right now.
Hold
Right
on a
now,
sec.
yeah.
Okay, I'm saying that having you behind me it gives
Oh,
me
it's perfect. Perfect.
it gives me great strength because listen, this thing I'll tell you a little more about it in a second, but it made me realize that life is precious.
mm,
Life is so precious and it's so fragile.
mm,
1 second you on top of the world, and the next second y- you have no control over your life, and you don't know what happens, and you totally at God's will, and it can be taken away in a split second, and you cannot just get up and say, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Give me another chance. Let me do it over." So we need to be careful with our lives, how we live it, and make every second count. And that's why I believe if I had a chance to actually continue my life, but that means we have a long way to go. A lot of things that still need to be done
mm,
because it is a lot like Christmas miracles. But how am I feeling? Daytimes are getting better. Nighttime is still a mother
mhm,
because you move the wrong way. That's it. I could be laying and just a cough, and if the body's in the wrong position, the coffee feels a lot like you just broke a rib,
mm,
and it's because it's awkward. Chest hurt because there's a lot of internal pain that they just starts traveling. Sometimes just keeps on going, like boom, boom, and you don't know what causes it. And you know me, I usually speed up. I'm Speedy Gonzalez. Like I'm 1 week went up, and I'm good to go. And but I was just told, were you kidding me? Who told you that? A month, 6 weeks. I said, what? But nevertheless, I'm feeling better. I'm moving around, and even though I cannot do much myself, things are moving. The AIDS is leaving. The AIDS is coming in. People are getting it. Today I went outside for some fresh air, and my chest froze up because I guess I'm not used to this ice cold yet there, but it's like 17 below zero.
yeah, it's
You
fucking cold
breathe,
there right now. Yeah,
you
yeah.
breathe, but you breathe, and your chest hurts. If you walk like 5 minutes, I mean, you can feel it. So, and this is I am here. I can't even imagine what people feel in Kherson, in Donetsk, in Kharkiv. I mean, they've been put out in total blackout. I mean,
Mm,
and with me it was like, here I am on a humanitarian mission, and everything's okay. All of a sudden, I hear somebody saying, "John," and at that second, I see, and like right in front of my eyes, everything turns, and you go like this down because it's a high road, so you're going into a ditch, like it's like a jump in the pool, and then just it's like a twilight zone, and the twilight zone. So finally, all spent all day in the field, and until finally somebody got there and got me out of there. I could stop breathing, and because I couldn't breathe, I couldn't. It was like this. That's all I could breathe.
S-
So
So, Alex, can I just let me just kind of backtrack? Everybody, if you've been paying attention, you follow Lev. There might be some people that are new to the show today. Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean and Alex Bolbier, voice of Ukraine, who delivers aid, sacrifices himself, has for many years to take aid and food, everything that's needed on the front lines for civilians and soldiers to stay warm, generators, etc. We're talking about a run that you were on where you were hit by a drone. You were attacked by a Russian drone, and it hit in front of the van. The van flipped over and caused a lot of injuries, a lot of damage. And you're saying that someone screamed drone, and you didn't even have time to react, and the van was hit, and it went into the field. And that was the visuals that we have.
It took a it took a split second because his
Yeah.
power is drawn, and I guess that split second because the tire, yeah, there was a lot of frozen water spots because the potholes, the roads are not like in America or Canada. There are pothole, there are like pothole on top of the pothole, but in the wind, but they all there is the water filled them up and they froze up. So if the tire gets it's a big pothole, the traction is lost. So it was combination of a lot of things plus a wave, and it was just like I said. Next thing you know, and we got lucky because as we were coming like this, just remember it's a Volkswagen van. That's seat been put in, everything put in, no seat belts. There is no. It's not like everybody's strapped in. There is no strapping in, even if you want to. And we go like this, and then because there was canisters with fuel and stuff in the back, and because the weight was so hard in the back that we somehow flipped sideways, so we didn't fly out the window because everything came out, the windshield, everything came out except us, and we kind of went sideways and twisted like 3-4 times. And it's just like on the boxing ring, you just bunch of punches and you don't know where they're coming from, and you just praying that it stops. So finally, when I got out, they gave me a shot. I start breathing. I come to Kharkiv. As soon as I come to Kharkiv, the cop lands. They bring me to Kharkiv. There is a big explosion, not too far from the hospital. The cop lands. Then
Jesus.
when they get me to Kiev, in Kiev, right next to me, I mean they're flying right into the buildings.
Yeah.
I mean, this time it was like, oh my God. They're like, it's not like usually a lot of times it could be when the rep shuts it down and it loses it becomes blind, so it can just fall because it lost its power. But it doesn't fall, it like goes into the building. And there was a building that like 20 minutes later, the ambulance came and everybody came and the second one came in and a lot of ambulance workers died and people that they came to help. And it's been like they raised the bar. And then with this Oreshnik, yeah, I'm sure you heard about the Oreshnik in Lviv, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, the
Yes,
ballistic missiles
last
in
night.
Lviv. The
Yeah.
visuals
no,
were
no, no,
incredible.
but
Yeah.
it's not just a ballistic, it's an Oreshnik. See that this thing flies 13,000 kilometers an hour. And what it does, it comes out of the blue sky, out of nowhere, and just attacks. So I don't know if it was like, I guess because it happened like 15 kilometers or whatever from Polish border. So I think it was a heads up for the world. But I spoke to people that's in Lviv, which is not that close to where it hit, and they told me it was like the ground was going from under them. That's how I felt, and they were far away. So that was just a regular charge. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even nuclear or didn't have small warhead, nothing. And it was hit in the field. They didn't even hit the city with it. I mean, but it's been like every night. And last night again, the building got hit at night.
Yeah.
And then all day it's like tonight's supposed to be 20 below zero, and 20 below zero is no heat because not enough power for the heat because the grid is down.
I see a lot of people heating up bricks in frying pans right now.
Everything's down and
Yeah.
moving around. Yeah, that too. But that's at least over here there is some. But I can't even imagine in suburbs over there.
Yeah.
But in suburbs, they see in Ukraine, in suburbs, every house he had one of those stoves that you can put coal and wood in there. So
Yep.
he heats up the whole house. You can cook, you can stay warm. But in this situation, the cities are worse because the build is a tall building. The winds are up, and it gets cold. So gets brick gets cool so fast and next thing you know, the houses get cold.
Mm, mm. It's what a
So
lot of people don't realize too, right, Lev?
it's not
Yeah,
easy.
Alex is
because
It's
how
not an easy
fucking
time,
cold it is
but
there right now.
well, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's why part of what we were delivering was heating pads, generators, because
but
it is. Go ahead, Alex.
well, you're right. It's because it's still going out, and Monday we're going to continue. But the thing is, this that the what I saw the reactions is that on the new, oh, they just shut down the power on the new year. Give me 1 second.
This is life in Ukraine, right? I mean, this is life in
Yeah,
Kiev.
he
Kiev is
just
in
yeah he
total
just
fucking
lost
darkness, and he just
darkness.
lost power
He
again.
just
Yeah.
lost power. Yeah.
Выключи все.
Uh, we just lost him.
Mm.
Okay, let me text him. While I'm
That's
trying to find, yeah, it's
horrifying.
crazy.
Yeah, you go ahead and find
But
him. It's
while I
horrifying.
find that, why don't we do some Q&A? Because
Yeah.
let's do some Q&A, and then while I'm trying to see if we could get Alex back up here.
Really good cue for the A. The A is, can someone please put the Ukraine GoFundMe for Alex in the chat, because people are asking how they can help, how they can donate, how they can send money. Just a constant stream of people in the chat. God, I love you. Our paid subs are the smartest, most lovely, incredible, giving, empathetic human beings on the planet. Between Lev and myself, coffee and tea with Lev and Dean. These stories only matter if we're willing to give of ourselves to offer part of a solution. That solution in this case is the Ukraine GoFundMe for Alex and aid. And Alex has had to take a little time off, like a month, 6 weeks. You just heard him, because he was hit by a drone as they were trying to deliver aid. That drone rolled the van. No one's wearing seatbelts. It is amazing this guy's alive. The van rolled 3 times, had generators, canisters of fuel, heating pads, hygiene products, socks, food that they were taking to the front line, and they got hit by a Russian drone. That's what he just accounted for right there. That's what he just
Yeah,
told us. It's very, very, very important, because you can trust that the money that you donate to this GoFundMe for Ukraine and Alex and Voice of Ukraine is going to go directly to the front lines 100%. And to make that possible 100%. And you can trust Lev and you can trust Alex when you give these guys money to be able to help the people of Ukraine, that it's not in an enterprise capacity, meaning they're not taking thousands of tons of food, and they're not it's not a caravan event, because they can't, because they have to go into the cover of darkness. They have to take different routes. They have to put themselves in the line of fire, like Alex did, to take several generators, and with no regard for their own safety, driving down the valley of death to get to the front lines so they can deliver this stuff. And that's how they have to do it. It has to be part espionage, has to be part
yeah, it's
strategy,
crazy.
part plan. And he was hit. He was hit. He's been doing this for years. It's the first time he's been hit. And the importance of hitting that GoFundMe today has never, ever been more real to me than seeing that man in front of me. And the last time I saw him, Lev, is when you posted a picture of him taking a picture immediately after the van rolled, barely being able to breathe, taking a picture of his face, bloodied, massive cut, could have lost an eye, like centimeters away from losing an eye,
Centimeters.
trying to explain to people that this is what he is doing with their donations, whether it be $5, $10. And the fucking guy won't stop, Lev. He won't
No.
stop.
No, he's supposed to be in bed right now. That's what he said. They told him 6 weeks. It's only been like 3 weeks. It's only been
Yeah.
3 weeks. It happened at Christmas time. It happened the 26th, December 26th. That's when it
Mm-hmm.
happened. So, but he's planning next week. He said we have to keep moving. We have to keep going. Unfortunately, what the media is not reporting on, and I'm going to do a special on this week. Maybe Monday we'll talk some more about it on our what's it called, weekend wrap up. But the biggest thing that people aren't talking about is the attacks that are still going on Ukraine, and they're intensifying, just like the rocket that that they said hit by Lvov. I mean, Russia's starting to intensify. And what are you seeing in response? Zero. Donald Trump, nothing. No peace
Not a
talks. There's
word.
no conversations. They didn't even report to you that Zelensky, I mean, that Putin basically told them to go screw themselves with the peace negotiations. You remember they were all sitting there, Jared Kushner, nothing. That's why they did what they did with Venezuela when they did it, and that's why they're all in the loop, folks. They're all in it. But let's do Alex. He's not coming back to me. They lost power. This happened last time when I was talking to him. So they shut. We'll see if he comes back. In the meantime, why don't we do some questions, and then I have a special treat for us to end it off with some positivity from our one of a kind, my sister, our dear friend, our member, Ludmila. She's going to take us home. But before we go there, let's see if anybody wants to cope up. Any questions we want to do? Let's do that for now.
Yeah, get your questions in Q&A. Paid subs as always. You can ask your questions. All you got to do is throw them in the chat, and you're good to go right here on Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean. So please, if you could do that, great. We'll answer a couple of questions. I've got one here from somebody who just can't quit you, Lev. My God, is Lev safe? Seems to me like the amount of information he gives us would catch the eye of the same Trump regime that murdered the Minnesota woman. Great
Well,
question.
I mean, great question, and I'm safe because I let myself known. I have some very good lawyers, thank God. I'm safe from MAGA because nobody knows where I live, where I stay. I'm still on supervised release. Only the authorities know. Thank God they have not doxed me. They have tried to put me back in prison for certain stuff. But thank God to some good lawyers like David Ehrenberg that I have on my team that were been able to defend it. And that's part of what the GoFundMe that we put together for in phase one is to put together the back machine to be able to have the security that's needed to go out there and do the stuff we did. Because the Trump regime, they know what I have and they use a different tactic. Their tactic is not responding to me. They pretend they don't know me because they understand that if they put spotlight on it, if they respond to me, they know I have the receipts, they know I have the facts, and then the media would have to cover it. Then it would be all exploded, and everybody has to talk about it. Then the left and the right, and that's what happened. If you remember, during a small time during the Trump impeachment, then that guy wiped out because of COVID. Then what's it called? I came up. What's it? Nick, I don't think we're gonna have time because we've been doing, but we'll definitely set up for next time. Unless if you want to come up, I think Nick Power wanted to come up and say something. Unless it's important, then we'll bring you up. But basically, yeah, I got lost my track first.
No, your safety, your security. You got David
Yeah, yeah.
Ehrenberg because people come after you, and I think that that's another question that someone asked earlier too. Is like, what's a day like? Do you evade people? Do people accost you? You know, I had a conversation. We were talking to
I don't go
Krassenstein
out
earlier, and he
much.
gets fucking phone calls. You don't?
Yeah, I don't go out much. I try to stay because every time we do go to like the local supermarket, it's like spinning the wheel. I get a lot of praise from a lot of incredible people out there that live in my community that know who I am, and that even and will come up to me as in the supermarket and just shake my hand or just show me a sign like we love you and thank you and lots of that at restaurants. But you also get the other side, a lot of more of, especially because I live in Trump country, so in Palm Beach. So when you walk around and, you'll get those, I hope you die, or, they should have left you in prison forever. And, it's a mixture. So me and my wife and kids try to stay, under the radar. We don't go out too much. We start, keep to ourselves because it's a very crazy world right now, and it's very tough. But it's a constant fight to be able to not get doxxed, not to be able to make sure that I'm able to continue giving you the information, but at the same time keep my family safe. Because keep in mind, I also have my son on the front line, Aaron, which he's completely exposed out there in Washington D.C. doing independent journalism. So I have another son that is an adult out there. So it's difficult, but we do what we can. We put a lot of faith in God.
Mm. Yeah, oh, dude. Yeah, I know you do, and you guys are both like warriors, Krassenstein esque. You both have that same constitution. A question about Aaron. Someone's asking a question about Aaron here as well, which is very interesting. When will we get a Lev Aaron Parnas podcast? Everybody's like, when are we gonna get it? We need it.
Actually, I think Aaron is putting together his own podcast, and I think he's having his YouTube channel. So stay tuned. He'll make his own announcements, but definitely you will be seeing dad and son soon. We'll be doing some stuff, putting stuff together. Right now, it's a matter of there's really not even time. If you think about the way the days are, he doesn't have a life. He's constantly 24/7 reporting breaking news.
Yeah, that's not an
Just think about
act.
it.
Like that's
And
all him. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and he's doing it on all these platforms, and he's do. I mean, I don't know how he does it, because I just have this one platform, Substack, and I'm here 24. I'm here with you guys, and I don't know how he's able to do it all over the place. But I'm very proud that he's able to do it and do it. But once things calm down, quiet down, I think there's several podcasts in the works. Me and Aaron, me and Hunter Biden, and all kinds of stuff, because there's a lot of history that needs to be retold, a lot of history that needs to be make sure that it's told properly and not whitewashed like the Trump administration is.
Mm. Well said. From family to family, we've got some people that are actually saying, "Where's Ludmila? We need our
Oh,
positive
here's the
fix.
guy. I'm getting
Where's Ludmila?"
I'm getting Ludmila. I'm getting guys Ludmila. I'm getting
I love her.
Ludmila.
Your sister is incredible. She's a life coach, Ludmila Piker. Give her a follow. We started this last week, Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean, where your beautiful sister comes on. She gives us a little positive affirmation, and wait till you see this smile. There she
It's
is,
contagious.
Ludmila.
I say it's contagious. Welcome, my lovely sister. So this is gonna be.
It's
By the way, this is gonna be our new segment. At the end of every Levandine, Ludmila is gonna end us off with a positive note. So we're gonna make this a regular, because we go through so much stuff. We talk about so much craziness that at the end of it, some of us say, "Oh my God!" But you know what? The one thing I want everybody to say before Ludmila goes is, we do have a light at the end of the tunnel, and we do have what to do, and we will get our democracy back, and we will get back to sitting at the same table once and again. Welcome, Luna.
I cannot say enough. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be able to join your wonderful family. And I'm going to say one thing. Renee Nicole Goode. Renee Nicole Goode.
Amen.
Mm. Mm.
For us to be strong, we cannot be broken. That is why positive state of mind is very important. It's not easy, but it's must. The truth is, pain that isn't healed gets passed on. Fear that isn't acknowledged turns into anger. Anger that isn't held with compassion becomes distraction.
Mm.
But love works the same way. One calm person can change the whole room. One kind thought can interrupt a spiral. One grounded heart can remind others what safety really feels like.
Mm.
And this is exactly why positive energy is matters.
Mm.
I hope
Amen.
you felt it. I hope you received it. And if you did, my mission is accomplished. God bless you all. Life is beautiful and we are blessed.
Wow.
Amen.
Amen.
Ludmila.
Wow.
Thank you so
Amen.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Definitely.
much.
Now,
I
those are
hope
some
you
really.
felt it.
I
No,
did.
those are, I did, and I think all our subscribers felt it. I think those are some incredibly powerful words. That was incredible because we need to look at the positive with everything going on. And I want to end off the way you started, Ludmila, by saying, Luda, thank you, and Renee Nicole Goode. Folks,
Mm.
Thank
say
you.
her name, and in her honor, today, go out there
Thank
and
you.
make sure, do whatever you can to make sure that her name is not forgotten. We love you, Luda. Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
guys. Thank you
Love
Everybody,
you,
so
make
much.
Lila.
sure if you want,
Love you, my
if
angel.
you need positive energy, if you want to hear more about it, go
Yeah,
follow
I do have my
Ludmila.
own platform.
Yes, she does actually. I told her, listen, we need you now in the pod. So guys, go click that little button up there. You'll see Ludmila. Hit subscribe. Listen. We all need positive energy in our life. With all the negativity, that's what keeps us going. So I recommend it. Give her a shot. Yeah, I think you will get the one
Thank you.
thing I can promise you is that you won't stop smiling.
Mm.
That smile is contagious. That's why people say, Lev, you always have that smile. That thank you. Now you see why. Now you see, look at Dean smiling right there. You see, it's contagious. Every one of you. And when you smile, it's statistically proven 100%. The more you smile, the longer you will live. It
You
is one of
bet.
the
Amen.
health, it's one, it's
Amen.
one of the healthiest things. So on that note, Ludmila, we love you.
I
Thank
love
you
you.
so much.
Thank
Have
you
a
Love you,
guys
sister.
so
wonderful
We'll
much.
talk to
day.
you soon.
Love you.
There you go.
Love you.
Ludmila Piker, ladies and gentlemen, give her a follow. Hit that Chiron at the top. She's awesome. Before we end off, stands to reason that everybody's affected by all this stuff. But what Ludmila is really trying to explain to everybody there, which Lev, you really sort of encapsulated and summarized real quick, it's that you have a duty to yourself before you have a duty to anybody else. And that duty to yourself is to accept what's going on in your life. It's to change your circumstances and what's around you, not just with positive thought, but acts of kindness, acts of love. There's the opposite of fear. And a lot of people don't know this, as Ludmila really brought home for us yesterday. And I want everybody to take this away with them today from Coffee and Tea with Lev and Dean, because we like to hash it up and we like to get after people and we like to point out what's wrong with the world. But those are things. And what Ludmila is talking about is this era of fear that we're experiencing as North Americans, as Canadians, Canadians afraid of Americans, Americans afraid of Canada, everybody in America afraid of Donald Trump. Listen,
Good.
the opposite of fear is one word: love.
Love. That's right.
That is a statistical and psychological fact. So love yourself today. Know that you're doing the right thing today, being part of a community like this that wants you to have a great day in love and kindness and empathy. And that's the importance of the resistance. That's the importance of the community that my very good friend Lev Parnas is building. I'm so grateful to be part of it. And you can be part of that too. You can be part of that community that combats fear and anger and lies with facts and love and empathy. All you have to do is subscribe. Really, really simple. Hit that Chiron at the top. We want you to come with us. We want to breathe this back into society. We don't want to leave anybody behind in fear. We want to bring everybody forward in love. And love can have a warrior's attitude. That's something that everybody needs to understand as well. When you love, it doesn't mean you have to love and sit back and go, well, I'm just a lover, not a fighter. No, real lovers fight, but they fight with compassion and empathy for the right things, with kindness and courage and temperance and justice and wisdom and all the fucking values and virtues that have made America what it was before Donald Trump ascended, that will make America what it will be after Donald Trump is gone, that brings people together in harmony and kindness and empathy. That is what America and Canada are. That is what Lev and I are as a microcosm. And that is what we're trying to farm here. We're not trying to rage bait you. We're trying to create a community of people that understand that the opposite of fear is love, and you have to militantly hold that as accountable to yourself as you do to everybody else. Beware of fighting monsters that you do not become one. That is what Donald Trump wants you to do. That's what he wants Minneapolis to do. He wants you to become the monster. He's begging you to become the monster because he's the monster you're fighting. Don't do it. Become that warrior of love and kindness and empathy and wisdom. Educate yourself, fact based. That is why we exist. Subscribers make this go a long way. Sharing this makes this go a long way. Oh, Princess Peaches, and hitting that heart at the bottom and hammering that heart and sharing that box that you see on the bottom right hand side. Subscribing and paid subscribers, here's the truth with Substack. You paid subs, you get us to the front of the line. So the more paid subs we have, not only does it keep us moving forward in that direction, but it also keeps this content in front of people who desperately need to see it. It affirms your values and virtues. Free subs, we want you to have access to this content because we don't want to pay anything. We don't want you to pay anything, but we want everybody to pay with attention. We want everybody to pay with their actions. And so if you come along with us, we're going to continue to build this out. We're going to continue to stand on our work and our business and our values and our virtues for democracy, for people, for humanity, for empathy and love. That is why we exist. That is why we're here. And that is why I do this with my very good friend every single Saturday at 12 o'clock with Lev, coffee and tea with Lev and Dean is a labor of love. You drive it. It is for you. It is by you because we are you. So thank you all for joining us. And Lev, why don't you finish and maybe take us out and say your thoughts, and then we can go and get on with our days and let these beautiful people do the same thing.
I just want to say, first of all, Dean, what you just said is, I mean, just incredible. I'm very rarely am I speechless, but between what Ludmila came on, the message of, and the way you broke it down, I think that's an incredible. I think if we could take that as a message today out of this whole thing, and understand that we could conquer hate with love, we could conquer fear with love, we could conquer all of these things with love, and channel and our anger and our frustration into the proper way. Uh, I think we could take away today that we're not as bad as it thinks. Yes, the economy's bad. Yes, people are dying. Yes, the country's in total shambles. But we do have a light at the end of the tunnel. But the one thing I'm going to say is we need to act quick. We do not have the one thing we don't have the luxury of is time, folks. Time is not on our side because, like I said, we're playing literally Russian roulette. What I'm hearing inside of those halls of the White House is these people are sitting there watching this on TV, hoping that something goes haywire so they could send in the military, so they could do the Insurrection Act, and they could take away our biggest power is our right to vote, so they could continue doing what they are doing. So that is why I say, and that is why I say, keep your eye on the ball. We're going to go to Washington D.C. Make sure if you haven't yet, become a volunteer. That's at levpttp at proton.me. We have an amazing volunteer group. Please join there. Also, please go to levremembers.com. Get your enough is enough shirts. These shirt because when we go into Washington D.C., we have also sweatshirts because it's cold. So make sure you get your sweatshirts when we go to Washington. Your hats. I want to see enough is enough. We're not taking more. Enough is enough with everything they're doing. And like I said, we're going to be doing more and more, bringing more and more people on this show. These Saturdays, we're the number one show on Substack for Saturdays, and it's because of each and every one of you. But this is not a show. This is actually real life, real information, information that nobody out there is getting. So the first thing I ask of you today before we leave is when we're done, when you get this, some of you might have came in late, some of you might have been here the whole time. God bless you. But please share it far and wide. Share it all over each and every Substack. Share a Substack. Put your messages in there. Give it to a friend because there's some very important. Besides some incredible contact, we had some incredible people up here like Brian Krassenstein, Ludmila, Alexander, American citizen. But you had some incredible information, some very important information about a shadow diplomacy that's being run in Venezuela right now, that's being covered up in front of your eyes. This is very important and very serious, and we're going to go more into it. But you could start spreading the message because the media, they're not talking about any of this. And I am going to write a letter later tonight outlining, detailing more information about that. So, folks, I want to wish you an incredible, incredible weekend. I want you to take the time and use the powerful message my sister and Dean told you is love. Use love today to conquer hate. Use love today to conquer negativity. Use love to conquer today fear. And I want to end it off. May she be rest in peace. May God left to her. Rest in peace, Renee Nicole Goode. We will not let them forget your name, just like we won't let the survivors get forgotten, just like we won't let those poor kids in Ukraine that got kidnapped. We will not let you die in vain. So we will do whatever we can in our community to make sure. Say her name, folks. Say her name. Renee Nicole Goode.
Renee Nicole Goode. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a
Thanks,
great
pal.
day.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Love you. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye.
Bye.